What up, what up, what up? I'm Jake.
I'm Jim.
Welcome to Secret Hideout, place we talk you can't bring to the dinner table.
Let's get it.
Let's get it. Jim, give him that smoke.
Check us out on Instagram at Secret Hideout Podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, Secret Hideout Podcast. We're doing this one with 2 cameras today. 2 cameras.
Yeah,
we got our boy ENZO back.
Enzo!
Enzo's going to be here like a lot, so we're not going to give him too much props because I'm going to just keep having him on because I love the conversation.
All right, yeah. Thank you for making me part of this.
Hell yeah. I had to like start recording right away on this one because these fools are just having too good of conversation for me not to record it. So, because I think it's like a voyeur thing. There's like a voyeur aspect to that. Like I must like hearing like my friends talk. I'm like,
you've always been into that voyeur stuff.
Sicko.
You're a sick fuck.
I mean, there is something to it. I think even just like, you know, being a fan of music and you're like watching like the band and all that stuff, like you kind of like watching from the corner of a room and shit like that. Like I like that.
Yeah.
Plus, we got some good ass
Fly on the
conversation
wall.
topics in here. You know,
Yeah.
there's
Oh,
like
yeah.
hot shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, this world's crazy right now,
Mhm.
and it's awesome with like having Enzo on because like we've described and talked about in the past. Like Enzo's like one of our oldest friends, and we don't necessarily always like keep in touch, but we keep in touch when it's necessary and perfect, and it's always just natural flow. It's like I couldn't even imagine. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Like, you know what I mean? Years can go by and it's
Yeah.
the same.
Exactly.
Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, that's always like those are the people that like count in life. You know,
For
the
sure.
people you can not see for like 10 years and then see them and
It's like you didn't miss a day.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like whatever. You know?
It doesn't matter. It's not like
There's like no beat skip.
you don't even look like older. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
no, I
you
feel the
don't-
same way about you guys.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't. I see you as the Enzo I saw when we were kids. Like
Yep.
I see that. Like there's no way. It's like I'd imagine how you feel about your siblings and shit. Like, you
Yeah.
always look at. I always look at my sister as like my sister, the kid. So
Yeah.
like when I see her like acting like an adult, I'm like, fucking stop. Like. Like stop like putting on that work, you know, the work professional mode. Like it's weird. Like, but you know, I do it too. I mean, it's a thing. Funny thing about like what I do is like I serve people and I deal with people. So there's like a difference in my voice when I talk to people. And this dude D, who I used to work with, he was like, I was telling him he's a big black guy, like fucking jacked black guy, like straight out the pin, like he's for real, like the real deal. And I used to like, I was like telling him one time to like, I was like, hey D, go clean the bathrooms, you know, make sure you like hook it up and make it good. And I had a honey in my hand and I turned around with the sandwich and I was giving it to a customer and I was like, here's your spicy honey, sir. And then D looks at me and goes, here's your spicy honey, sir. He's like, what the fuck was that? I'm like,
Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
shut up.
Right?
Yeah, I'm like, go clean the
Get
bathroom.
back in there.
Fire. No, he's the man though. He always like called out like the realness. Like I always could go to him for like just real life shit. Like he had that breakdown on that.
Yeah.
He'd be like, "You're a pussy, Jim." I'm like, "I know." For sure. I remember one time I was showing him our
You're like, you know what? If I wasn't scared of you, I'd fire you.
Yeah.
I was showing him our music and it was like some of our hip hop stuff that we were doing. And he's like, I could tell that your cousin's not from where you're from. Like he had some hardship in his life. And I was like, yeah, he's from Warren. Like, yeah, he did kind of grow up in a white trash neighborhood.
When was this? I
Do you
must have
remember-
missed this.
Do you remember my dog? Do you remember coming over when I had those dogs and we had like a fence? in
Yeah,
our
there was like a
house?
fence. I was always afraid of your dog. Yeah,
Yeah.
I never.
That's what we're talking about. Like,
Like, you know, Jake's house. Jake's
come on,
always,
bro.
I mean,
A fence in my house.
No, dude. I always like
in the neighborhood, even when he was in Shelby Township, like it was a different living than what we lived. Like
Yeah.
it was, I don't know. It was somehow, even though it was in the suburbs, it was still hood.
I
somehow.
remember that shit though. You remember Guy?
Yeah.
Guy, the dog?
Yeah, the big
Fucking-
dying
Dude,
dog.
I was
He
afraid
didn't
of your dog. Yeah.
That's no, it's totally normal. Like he was scary, like because he didn't like
was.
dudes because he got like beat by a guy, by like a dude.
Yeah.
So he didn't like men. And I just remember though when you came over, like you stepped in the gate and my dog went fucking nuts on you, like started barking at you, and you just like. You were like, "Oh my god!" Like totally inappropriate response. Like it really was, but it was just still funny, you know.
You know what's funny is, well, now I love dogs, but yeah, back then, man, I just think it's not like your house was bad or anything, but yeah, like I remember going in there and being like,
no, but Jake just was a little more hood than us. Like Jake just has a little more grit.
Street.
Yeah, he's
grit.
a little more grit to him than like what we expect. I mean, Enzo and I grew up in the same subdivision, and like.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just
different
polished.
vibe.
Yeah, like I come over to your house, you guys' house, you would be like, "Yo, you guys, you want to go ride? Let's go ride bikes on this big dirt mound." And it's like, "Yeah, cool."
Yeah.
Jim would come over and be like, "Yo, you want to go pick up cigarettes behind Kroger's on the
For
ground
real.
and smoke them?"
Yeah, like Jake's friends were all, he had fucking, Kyle and Pat. No, I don't think we could do that.
You're not supposed to do that.
It's okay.
What's the timestamp? 180.
Yeah, you can just bleep that one out.
I don't
know.
I like the way you do that with the editing.
I don't know what the rules are about all that. But but Kyle and Pat, and just
Dude.
like what was fucking Clincher and fucking Gibson,
Yeah.
all that shit. Like Jake was just a little more hood than us.
Yeah, we've had the FBI in our subdivision twice growing up.
Really?
Yeah.
Some major drug
crazy
dealer.
shit was
Jake's
going on.
brother.
Dude, I was gonna tell you. Do you remember that one time? It was like we were in high school or at the end of high school, and we were like trying to smoke weed for the first time, and he like rolled us a joint out of this big ass bag of like shake.
Yeah, we went to his apartment.
Yeah,
to
we went
get
to.
it.
Yeah, exactly. This was I don't know how old we were, but then we got to Jake's
senior
house,
year.
and you were like. You like threw it on the ground. You're like, we don't need to do this.
Yeah, dude. I remember and talked about that point all the time to people because I remember you and I went to we were like partying at the house. Like it was before spring break. Remember how we were like
gearing up
for it. We were like we'd never been to a party.
At my house?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of
Okay.
the drinking. We'd have like vodka and drink.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
In the van or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And fucking, we went to Tony's and bought like a joint off of him. And we were like, this is going to be the night we smoke weed. This is prior to you and I smoking weed for my first time.
Okay.
And we got back to the house and you wanted to smoke it.
I did.
Yeah,
I was like,
you were
I'm ready to do this.
Yeah, you were really wanting
Yeah.
to do it. And I remember that grab it. Was it as dramatic
You
as
like
me?
threw it, and
Yeah.
then I was like, "Oh no!"
I threw it.
I guess
said,
we're
"We don't-
done."
I said, we don't need that shit.
Yeah, he's like,
Enzo."
"We don't need that shit." And I was like, "All right, I guess we're not doing that."
Yeah.
I mean,
I smoked weed in 6th grade.
Dude, you were.
I got caught though, and so I stopped.
Holy shit, man!
I
I stopped, and I never even told Jim for like the longest time.
Yeah.
No.
Like my whole thing was like, all right, I'm not gonna do this anymore, and until like Jim wants to smoke,
Yeah.
and then
He didn't tell me for years. Like
Yeah.
he didn't tell me like
it was a pretty big deal. Like when I got
You act-
caught, I got caught by my dad buying it off of one of my brother's friends.
Yeah.
And I was gonna be like the one that went to my group of friends and was like, I was gonna be like the first that like actually bought it, because before then, like we'd steal it from like my group of friends, like we would steal it from like our older brothers,
Yeah.
like go and pinch it,
Yeah.
and smoke a little bit of it,
Yeah, dude. See, that's
so I
what's
was
crazy.
gonna come in and be like, look what I got.
I remember Pat would try to out you for
Oh
it.
fucking! And then Pat, yeah, dude. You
Out me for what?
You were already
For
like a
smoking
grown ass
weed.
man in 6th
Would
grade.
he?
Yeah. And I'd be like
When we were fighting
it
and
was,
shit?
it was probably like Santa Claus. And I was like, no, he didn't.
Pat
he
would out
didn't,
me.
bro.
That's such a Pat thing
Yeah.
to do.
We're gonna have Pat on for sure.
We should have Pat
Yeah.
on. Do you guys know it's Devil's Night? Well, when this
Tonight?
episode's
Yeah.
airing,
Oh, I got you.
is
Okay.
Devil's Night.
Nice.
Little camera magic.
Some of our listeners might not know what that is because it's not really like it's not like a national thing.
Did you know that?
No, I actually
It's pretty
I
much
didn't know it was only Michigan.
it's pretty much like Michigan and like in like Pennsylvania.
Oh,
And I think
alright.
Pennsylvania they call it like Mischief Night. Like I mean it was like a thing. It used to be like kind of like a thing like the fucking 30s or some shit. Like
Yeah, like when we grew
more of a
up,
thing.
like you didn't go out on Devil's Night. Or
Yeah,
if you're
but then
Jake, you did when
but-
you were.
It became like it became like a just a Detroit and like I said like Pennsylvania I think was the other state that like does Mischief Night.
Mischief Night sounds so stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Well, so Detroit hit it hard, and like by the fucking 80s, dude, like by the 80s, like 84, I think was the worst. There was like 800 fires. So people that don't know what Devil's Night is, it's the night before Halloween, and like in Detroit in like the 70s and 80s, especially the 80s though, people would go out and like start abandoned houses on fire. And just start buildings on fire, and like just start all these huge fires in the city. And like by like 1984, there was like 800 fires in one night in the city. And like that's a lot, man. Like when you think about it, like we're not talking little fires. We're talking like full houses on
blocks
fire,
on fire and stuff.
Yeah. You can find like some really awesome photos of it and shit too.
I'll post them up.
But yeah, and so like it went from I think like 70 something until pretty recent that we stopped using Devil's Night. Like it's not really a big deal anymore. Like there's not like really fires going off.
Somebody needs to do some sweet shit on Devil's Night, like a concert or some kind of like tradition.
Well, that's why they're so like D12, their first album's called Devil's Night, it's got pop culture to it.
Look at this shit.
Showing the pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah, my buddy Andrew found a set of photos by a firefighter in, I think it was 84 when it was like the worst. And he wants to buy them, but they're not for sale. But I forgot who the guy was, but someone took these amazing photos. He was like one of the firefighters, and while he was out, he was just taking pictures, and they're beautiful photos of just like
carnage.
Carnage. Are they seeing this?
They're seeing shit.
Okay. But yeah, it's Devil's Night, and like what you used to do, like when we were younger, I remember. Yeah, you were right, Enzo. It was like you don't go out on Devil's Night.
Yeah.
Even probably up until we were like 17 or something like that. I think that's when it started kind of dying down. But yeah, when we were younger, it was like you don't go out on Devil's Night, and then like if you were a teenager, and you weren't like a hard criminal or something like that, you would go and like TP someone's house or some shit, or like egg someone's house.
Did you guys ever do shit like that?
No.
No?
I mean, I've done that, just like it wasn't like it's Devil's Night, let's go.
Yeah, Timberland Meadows just did that shit on Saturdays. You guys just fucking go TP in egg houses.
Bro.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Oh, no. I'm about to bring up when we used to throw apples at cars.
Oh, dude.
We brought that up before.
I'm sure we've talked about
it. On the podcast.
Yeah. I thought we brought it up with you.
I don't think you guys did with me, but I was just going to say, like, that's what makes... I just had this thought, like, that's what makes Michigan, this area, like, awesome, is because we have, like, these cultural, like, Devil's Night and all
that
these,
shit
like,
was really dangerous that you guys did.
That was, dude. I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, man, dude.
Dude, do you remember when Dan
we escaped
was out
with
there?
our lives?
I just remember Dan being out there, and Dan has a fucking cannon.
Yeah.
And he blew up. He exploded this apple on the side of this fucking car. It had fucked it up. Like, it was like, he threw it so hard.
It was loud as hell.
It was fucking,
yeah.
That was a thrill, though. That was a thrill, like,
running through the woods after.
Were you with us the night that the cops came? We hit a cop car?
I don't know. The couple times I remember is running, like, I remember going up to this. Can I get in trouble for this still today? No, I remember going up to this car and fucking wham, hitting the side of it with an apple, and then running into the woods, which, yeah, it's like so stupid, like that person could have got an accident or whatever. But then there was one time where this guy, like, he kind of tried to corner us in this like sub with his vehicle, like after someone had hit his car with an apple. And so, like, I was driving and I just like drove over the curb and just like drove off, man. Cause I was like, dude, if we get caught, we're dead. Like, literally.
I remember that. I don't know if I was driving with you, but I remember you just fucking taking off over a curb. Like, it was hectic.
Yeah, I wasn't about to get trapped there, man.
You were just like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Enzo's raw like that, though. He just like goes into this like mode and he's like, fuck it, I'm out of here, dude.
Could you imagine if someone would have like caught us,
No. It's not that, dog. You're out here talking about Europa last week and you're worried about talking about fucking appling cars.
Yeah, fucking 14.
Yeah.
They're not getting us for that.
You're safe. You're safe.
Holy shit! That was all. I wish that was all we talked about on here. It was fucking Apple and cars.
Midnight quarterbacking.
Yeah.
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 Was that what it was called? Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Well, tomorrow's Halloween. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
You guys doing anything Halloween?
I'm going to a Halloween party the night before Halloween at like Ray's friend's house. So it's.
But you're not on Halloween.
No, dude.
You got hand out candy?
I'm gonna try to play hockey, to be honest.
Okay.
Where do you play at?
Onyx.
Oh, right on. That's like right by my house, man.
Yeah.
When it's time, you got to come over.
I know, for real.
Yeah.
I haven't been to your house. I have to check it out.
Yeah.
You've been in the same place, right?
Yeah, I've been living there since 2016. It's, I mean, not to derail the conversation.
Give us your
from
address.
Right on air, yeah. I'll tell you exactly where I'm at.
Tell me more about those cars you hit with the apples.
The apples, yeah. But I'm right by there. I used to go to Onyx every once in a while. But
last year, Halloween was real weird, like taking the kids trick-or-treating.
Why?
Because it was because of the pandemic.
People were had candy on a stick.
Well, there was like a thing. There was like a thing where it was like, oh, you should. I think it was like a recommendation for like having your candy out on a table in the driveway.
Yeah.
Instead, and so it was really weird because like half the subdivision we went in was like people out in their driveways with like candy on like a table for some reason. But we couldn't figure out like if we were supposed to go up to a house, or not, and like I don't know, it was just a real weird vibe.
See, that's confusing. The thing. We need to get out of this cycle of like we're not doing any of our traditions and enjoying things like we used to, all because of the pandemic, obviously. But I mean, things are weird, like holidays and only seeing each other on like video chat, or like you said, on Halloween you don't even really get to do anything.
Well, they're really trying to disconnect everyone.
Exactly.
Like they're really trying to keep everyone afraid of each other. That's been the point of it since moment one of it was they were like, let's put plexiglass between everyone. Let's make everyone cover their faces and fear that they're going to be the one that kills you.
Yeah. Like
literally, that's like what it was about, and that's what they're doing. I was just thinking of like all the ridiculous, like Halloween, like the liberal houses having like a in and out. Like arrows saying towards you remember when the grocery stores did that?
Yeah, we still do that.
At your place?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, it's like one door open.
Yeah, it's like how one door.
You still see that around, like exit only or entrance only. It's like what the.
At the same time, I feel also like if you didn't watch the news, you would think the pandemic was already over. If you didn't watch the news and you didn't hear like, oh, this variant, this many cases, like when I'm out and about, I very rarely see people like wearing one. And when I see people wearing a mask, I'm just thinking to myself, like, don't you want to breathe? Just like, you'll be fine. You're going to be okay. Like, everything's going to be fine. Look around you.
Or you're not.
This is what we've done. Or you're not. But like, honestly, you could get in your vehicle and get in a car crash. Like, life can come to an end at any moment. And like, if you just think about it, like, yes, they tell us about this pandemic and all that, but life continues to move, and it's like today is the same as yesterday. I mean, that's why I love this. It's like we're doing the same thing, having the same conversation that we've always been having, really, And so they're like, everything's getting slowed down, and like we're all isolated and all this stuff. But I just feel like what you said about Halloween, everything's just being made into this, like, they're taking the fun away from everybody. They're taking the fun out of everything, man.
Yeah. And it's funny to think like if like how Halloween you could figure out like who's like my kids are going to your door. Like those are the rebellious like truthers out here. They're like, I'm coming to your door. I'm not taking the candy out of a bowl. Like I want to see you. I want to knock on your door. And then there's people like that just put a bowl of candy out there and have their hazmat suits on in the window just watching you.
Yeah. Or they're not even participating because they're like, hey, this is the pandemic. How dare these people? Like,
oh man,
I had some pop culture stuff.
Oh dude, I watched the what was that, the cop film that you were talking about last episode. Last Shift.
Yeah.
Dude, that movie, I couldn't even fucking watch it. I couldn't watch it.
It's good, man.
Dude, it's fucked. Like,
yeah, it's a good one.
And I had to turn, like,
Why?
Rachel fell asleep.
What is the problem, dude?
Rachel fell asleep. And I was just like, I'm tired too. Like, I'm gonna turn this off. Like it was good. It was scary. Like it had me fucking. Like we were talking about what we were talking about in the chat. You were like, you read.
That Evil Dead, man. Like I don't know how you guys watch that, dude.
Did you watch it?
No, I don't think I can. Like that's too much, man.
But The Last Shift was excellent. I suggest that.
Yeah.
I didn't even finish it. It was too scary. Grown man, dude.
Man. I watched that one alone.
It was tough, I bet.
Yeah, it got creepy. Like,
was it late?
Yeah, like Melissa went to sleep. You know, she went to bed and I put it on.
It does the trick, whatever it's supposed to do.
It's creepy. I watched The Witch alone too, and it really creeped me out.
Yeah, The Witch is great.
Yeah,
we didn't put I'd add that to that list. It's an excellent.
Actually, so a movie that's on my list that I watched is very witch-like. It's called The Dark and the Wicked, and it's about this brother and sister that go back to their parents' farm because their dad's dying, and there's something, they get there and there's something wrong with their mom. She's acting all weird, like telling them like, oh, you shouldn't have came, and like just being real weird with them. And then you could tell like there's something spiritually like paranormal type shit going on with her, and she ends up like hanging herself while they're there. And then it's just about them staying there to stay with their dad. And like all this creepy shit starts happening. And it's a slow burn. It's very much like The Witch. You know, it's like super unsettling.
Have you ever seen The Witch?
No.
Yeah. You should watch that. It's on Netflix.
Like the tone, the tone of the movie, like the music and everything. It's more about like it makes you feel like unnerved while you're watching it. Like all this, like it's basically like the devil is like approaching their house for some reason. You don't know why either. And like so like
he did the Strangers.
You don't find out till the end.
No, you just he did The Strangers, the guy that did this.
That's one of the scariest movies I've ever seen too.
I don't know about that,
dude.
I've never seen it.
Oh, dude,
it's okay.
I don't know how you guys watch these, man.
The Strangers.
Yeah, dude. It's
I like.
Raw,
Isn't that like when they're in that house and those people come from the woods or something like that?
Yeah, it's Liv Tyler. She kills it. It's fucking really good. Yeah,
but yeah, watch this one.
Check this out.
It's like it's like like it's just it's a different type of horror. Like it's a slow burn horror, and like creepy. Like you never know who's like a spirit, like who's like a bad person. Like someone will come to the door and they'll be talking normal, and then next thing you know, like they're like,
doing something fucking crazy,
like, crazy or creepy.
All right, I feel like I could get down on this one because this one seems like something I would like. It reminds me of The Conjuring, sort of. But that Evil Dead one was absolutely insane.
It's not like The Conjuring. It's like it's different. Like you feel fucked up when it's done. Like you feel like.
But I mean,
like you're hearing noises in your house now. Like you're hearing noises, and you're like, okay, fuck.
Even
these are dark spirits around me.
But like that's what I'm saying though. Like the spirit stuff that doesn't bother me as much as the actual like physical violence and like seeing it carried out with that type of like abandon.
You don't like a brutal stuff.
Like that. Yeah, exactly. Like that's the part that like fucks me up where I'm like, because it's like spirits and like the occult and demons and stuff like that. It's like, in fact, I'm like actually interested. Like it makes me more interested and I like it. The plot line. I don't mean, that stuff. But when it's like, I don't know, like what was so scary about that cop movie?
They just built it perfect.
Yeah, it's just good, like nice little story.
You just don't want to see what's gonna happen next.
It's like it's not complex or anything. You know, it's just this cop that's in a old police station by herself. She's got to spend the last night at the old police station.
Yeah, you talked to
Yeah, and so
but it was that scary.
So like the simplicity of it is what makes it scary. You know, like one cop facing all this, you know, dark shit happening.
Like pretty much, I was just like flexing on my girl the whole time. Like I could do this.
I got this.
Yeah, like I could do this. And like I looked over, and as soon as she was passed out, I was like, "All right, we just turned this off."
I'm gonna put on Arrested Development.
Let me ask you guys this: have you either one of you ever seen a movie called 13 Assassins?
No.
Okay. It was this movie that was on, I don't know if it was on Amazon or Netflix, but I turned it on with someone I was watching it the other day, and it's like a samurai movie, and it had like 5 stars.
Yeah.
And the opening scene was just like so fucking brutal and fucked up. Not even the opening 5 minutes was so fucked up, I had to turn it off. It was the same kind of thing.
You just recently watched From Dusk Till Dawn too.
It was that same night. It was 2 in a row that I
you were with
out.
you were with a lady.
I was with a lady.
You were with a lady.
Yeah.
And you put on From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was going to be more like over the top, which
she didn't
it
call
was.
You back, did she?
Yeah. No, as soon as like it started, like as soon as stuff started going off, I was like, all right, and I just like turned it off because I was like, you know, she wasn't into that anyways. But what was that?
What was that?
It's my text alert. I always get asked that. Like anytime my phone goes off, everyone's like, "Who is that?"
Yeah, what was that sound?
Well, it sounds like a child in distress.
Is it Yoshi?
Like a child?
No, it's what's her name from Zelda, Ocarina of Time, the fairy.
Okay, I've never played that, but I know what game you're talking about.
Familiar with Zelda.
When she's like trying to get your attention. Listen.
It sounds like your daughter.
Yeah.
It sounds a lot like your daughter.
I gotta change it. It draws too much attention. I liked it because it was so subtle and like quick.
No, it
you
sounds
know,
like
it's
a
just
child.
like, listen.
It sounds like a child
like,
asking for help.
But every time it goes off, I'm like, what is that? What is that? You know?
It's weird.
It's like, you ever bring a rotisserie chicken to work with you?
No.
Okay. Yeah, me neither. That'd be weird.
Well, I mean, I would do that.
I have. I do because there's like a market. Chicken. There's a market down the street, and like they sell rotisserie chickens, and they're like $7. You know.
Yeah,
$8 like organic and shit, farm
Smash
raised.
That whole thing.
And like, so that's a good meal right there. You make a sandwich out of that shit. So sometimes I'll get that on my lunch, and like people just like lose their mind. Like you bring a rotisserie chicken into your work, like I guarantee you, like your coworkers are gonna lose their fucking mind. Just do it.
What are they
if
gonna
you have
do?
like a break room or something like that, where like people like,
no,
just gonna
it wouldn't
smell
be
so
anything
good.
at my work.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be anything. They'd be like, is there? What is this? Why? There's so much food here.
Yeah.
Why did you bring a rotisserie?
It would still
chicken?
cause a thing though.
It would, yeah.
People are just like, what, rotisserie chicken? A whole chicken?
You're not gonna eat all that.
A whole chicken?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird. People lose their mind. Okay, so I watched.
Just breezing through this pop culture segment.
Yeah,
I like it's like, let's try to have a conversation, or let's try to talk about pop culture, but have a conversation at the same time
about chickens,
and then try to get back to the pop culture.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
How does that?
I watched The New Grudge.
Okay.
The 2021.
I didn't even know there was a new Grudge.
Not a lot of people did.
I like the original Grudge.
It's by the
film?
people that did Evil Dead.
Okay. Well.
Ooh.
So when the preview came out for me, it's like, bro, the people that brought you Evil Dead. I was like, fuck yeah, you know. And then it looked like the Evil Dead type, you know, kind of look, the remake, and it looked really good. And then when it came out, I got shit on. Right, like the reviews like shit on it, and it really disappointed me because I was really excited for it, and like it got like a 4. It's got like a 4 on fucking IMDb, and I usually don't fuck with any horror that has anything below like a 5.8. But anything like, I think anything 5.8 and above is like definitely worth a watch if you go by reviews and stuff. But anyways, so I was like really disappointed about this, that it got shit on so hard, and everyone's like, "This is a stupid ass remake," blah blah. And so like, but something inside of me has always been still wanting to watch it, but I just held off because of how low the rating was. You know, I was like, "Oh, this must be so bad." But then finally, I was like, "Dude, fuck it." And I was like, "There's got to be someone's got to like some part of it." And so I was reading all the positive reviews, and they all just made a lot of sense. And so we watched it, and it's actually not bad. Like, I don't know, did you guys fuck with the original Grudge?
Absolutely.
Okay. So first off, it's not a remake. Do you not like horror?
No, I do. Like, I just haven't seen a lot of them. But I've seen it, but you're very into the genre of horror. Like,
yeah, like
for
horror.
sure. That's legit.
So it was good though. It's not a remake. Okay, and that's one thing. That's one of the reasons I think people shit on it, is because they're looking at it as if it's a remake. And it's not. What it is it starts off with a woman that's in the original house in Japan, right? And she's dealing with the original Grudge, which is like the Japanese woman. You know,
the woman that fell in the well, right? Isn't that what?
No,
it
that's
is?
The Ring.
Fuck.
I'm thinking of The Ring. Close. They're very similar.
Yeah.
Both Japanese.
Okay.
Around the same time.
Yeah.
Too.
But anyways, this woman brings it back. She has the Grudge on her, right? Because it's about anytime, as soon as you enter the house.
So this is the chick in the TV?
Yeah.
Okay. As soon as you enter the house.
Yeah, that's what's cool. Like, okay, so Asians do fucking, their ghosts are creepy. Like the way that they do ghosts is like
a demon.
Is way scarier than the way just like ghosts in general.
Okay.
Like is way scarier than how we do ghosts, because a lot of their ghost stories, like their ghosts like attach to you. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they attach to you, and once they attach to you, like that's it. Like you're taking it. There's no escaping it. Where a lot of like our ghost stories here, it's like it's confined to like a space.
They float around,
you know, or it's like it's confined to like a house or something like that. You know, like here, like Asians, like their ghosts like attached to you, like on like some emotional level and shit. And so in The Grudge, the thing is like, you know, this house had a tragedy. This family was killed in a fit of rage, and that's the story. Is that sometimes if you're killed in a fit of rage, your ghost will haunt and basically kill everybody because your ghost is pissed off, right? And in The Grudge, it's like as soon as you enter the house, you're attached to it. Okay. So no matter where you go, it follows you, and all you have to do is go in the house, which is scary, right?
So it like possesses you, and then
it like
it's on
attaches to you as soon as you enter the house. So, anyways, this woman in this new Grudge, she's in the original house. She leaves because of all the fucked up shit she's seeing in the house. She comes back to her house in America with the Grudge attached to her, right? It causes her to psycho out and kill her family, right? Kill her family in a fit of rage, and thus creating a new Grudge. Does that make sense?
Like that new home is the
the new home in America is a new Grudge, with this woman and her family being the haunters.
She killed herself, obviously, at the end.
Yeah. Does that make sense? So people thought it was like a remake, but it's not a remake. It's just like it's like a type of spin-off to it.
Like they're saying the Grudge is like.
So now it's not the Asian, it's not that creepy Asian boy or the Asian girl like walking down the steps anymore. It's like it's an American family.
Yeah, I can't stop thinking about the
ghosts.
Like, be real. Like,
I don't know. I think they're both all the same. I don't even know the difference between the two of them. To be honest,
can't remember The Grudge now because I'm just like, when did she come out of the TV?
Doesn't she crawl on the wall?
But that's The Ring, right?
The Grudge is the in the attic and coming down the stairs, like crawling down the stairs.
But then The Ring jocked that.
The Ring comes out of the TV, bro.
But kind of the same way.
Well, it crawls
it's
out of
the character that looks the same.
It's Asian too.
Yeah.
It's an Asian Japanese story too.
Yeah.
You know, that's why
I just can't remember The Grudge.
There's another Asian one, or remake of a Asian one. I forgot what it's called. It's got what's his name, Charlie from Mighty Ducks.
Emilio Estevez.
No, Dawson's Creek, dude. Josh. Vanderbeek?
No, that's James
man.
Van. Okay. Oh man,
Josh Hartnett? No. But anyways, there's one. It's cool because like he's like a photographer, and there's some shit he's got throughout the whole movie. He's got like these back pains going on, and like he like all this fucked up shit's happening to him, and he's like having a hard time like walking. He's like getting tired real quick, and like I say, he's got back pains, and like there's a scene where like he steps on a scale for some reason and it goes to like 600 pounds. And he's like, what the fuck, you know? And then you find out that he has a ghost attached to him, and they show you what it is. And it's like the girl ghost is like literally on his shoulders. Like she's sitting on his shoulders.
And she's like 600 pounds?
No, but it's just like...
She's just putting so much weight down on him.
She's
like,
causing weight. So he's getting back pains and shit. It's like, I don't know. It's creepy, you know? Like she's attached to him. But yeah, I don't know. I liked it. I liked the new Grudge. Wasn't good. I wish they would have kept the Asian ghost. She's just more creepy. She did that. Even like the actress that did that. Because the Grudge, dude, there's like 5 Grudges. And I recently found that out because there was like 2 Grudges by the guy that did the Grudge in 2004 with Sarah Michelle Gellar. Right, the American Grudge, the original American Grudge.
That's the Grudge I've seen.
That's the guy who did that is the director of the Japanese Grudge movies. Okay?
Joshua Jackson.
Joshua Jackson. They let him come over and direct the American version of it.
Okay.
Which I think is cool.
Yeah, you know, I've seen the Mighty Ducks. All right.
So, but there's like 4 of them before that.
Wait. Who's winning the game right now, by the way, guys?
I was wondering that too, actually.
Oh, did it turn off? It turned off on us.
Oh, dang.
We got the wings going too. I don't know if we can show it, but I will just for fun. Probably this will make it so this one doesn't ever make it to YouTube.
Oh, why? Will it get like demonetized?
Did you watch anything, Jim?
Yeah, I watched the cop one.
You kind of watched it.
Yeah, I watched all of it. I just turned off the last 20 minutes. I was like, all right, I get it.
Oh, really?
I'm fucking scared.
The end's good, man.
I'm sure it is.
It's got a good ending.
Jake, dude, I want you to check out that 13 Assassins movie, man.
13. Well, is it horror?
I don't know what the fuck it is. I had to turn it off because I was too disturbed in the beginning.
Bring that up again, Jim. 13 Assassins. 13 Assassins. Is this with Keanu Reeves?
No. Oh, it's like this is like an actual hardcore like Japanese film.
Speaking on that, on Keanu Reeves, Benjamin put it in perspective about how shitty of an actor Keanu Reeves is.
Owen Benjamin?
Yeah.
Do you fuck with Owen Benjamin?
Is that the guy that was on the podcast with Joe Rogan and Alex Jones?
No.
Okay, then I don't know who that is.
He's been on Joe Rogan though.
That's Tim Dillon.
I'm not sure who Owen Benjamin is. I'd have to see a picture.
He was a comedian.
Got heavily canceled.
Got really canceled because he started. It's funny. He actually, you can watch his like he has video of him figuring out he's a flat earther.
Oh yeah.
Who is it? Can you put a picture of him up there?
Yeah. He basically he got canceled for going down the rabbit hole. Like he started going down the rabbit hole and started talking about the shit he was finding. And they were like, all his like comedian friends were like, "Oh, he lost it. He's gone." Blah blah blah.
Notice how right away the first thing they put is he's alt-right, so that anyone looks him up on Wikipedia and they immediately don't even want to touch him.
Yeah. He's an American alt-right internet personality and former stand-up comedian. He's still a stand-up comedian.
Like they have to throw that in there, like as if his politics even are important.
He's still a stand-up comedian. He's just not allowed anywhere.
Yeah. He still does stand-up. It's crazy.
Yeah, like everything. He's been banned everywhere.
Yeah, I believe
everywhere. He talks he'll talk some mad shit, but like he's definitely on that Europa shit and stuff too.
For sure.
Yeah. But anyways, it's funny because he's like I was saying, you can watch video of him when because he's like I think he was like live streaming or something, and somebody was sending him flat earth stuff, and he was like, "No, that shit's bullshit," and then like he's like watching stuff and like getting like reading all the questions they're bringing up, and he's like, you can watch his breakdown, like he's like, holy shit, he's like, there's no way I'm a flat earther. He's like, there's just no fucking way, and like he was like really fucked up about it. in the video, you know. And now he posts his own like podcast on his own website. But he brings up crazy shit sometimes. He was talking about Keanu Reeves, and he's like Keanu Reeves is like he's such a bad actor. He's like, just watch him. He's so bad. He's so bad at acting. And he was like bringing up like his role in like Dracula from like, I don't know, 1992 or 3 or something like that, you know. And like he's showing clips of him going in between an American accent and a British accent, and like it's just like so bad. And then it just makes you realize that like when you do watch him, like he only has one tone of voice, and like you know
what though,
he really can't act. But it's cool because
I'll give him this. He's put a lot of movies out that have just been money, like The Matrix.
Yes,
the John Wick, dude. Those were spot on.
The thing about those movies,
I don't care.
Like,
I loved him.
He doesn't really. What do you love about him? Like the badassness of him.
It's just
like no one's saying he's not a badass at being an actor.
Like John Wick, it's noir. You know what I mean? It's like got that style to it.
Even just
the music selection is dope.
With John Wick it's how serious he took the role. How serious he took at being an expert with weapons.
But I just
he trained to be a stuntman.
I like the film overall. Even like there's parts in the first one where they do like this thing where like they'll say like Baba Yaga, and it pops up on the screen. Like they have a cool like.
But think of this: how much does he talk in that movie?
Not a lot.
Exactly.
But it's a good movie.
Exactly.
Because
that's why he does so good in it.
The creation of the movie.
He just happens to be in it.
Anybody else who would have put that work into that role would have been just as sick. Like if it was Will Smith doing that or whoever, another actor.
It just happened to be Keanu Reeves.
Will Smith was supposed to be Neo.
Yes, Will Smith. That's like one of his regrets. Turned down regrets. He turned it down, but
which would have been wild.
But it wouldn't have worked with Will Smith because with Will Smith, John Wick would have to have little one-liners and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know. I think Will Smith just would have went into like a serious place with it.
I don't.
Have you seen like 7 Pounds or any of like his dramatic roles?
Yeah, but he got a lot of talking roles in that. Like Will Smith likes to talk. Will Smith's got to be on Will Smith in his movies.
Yeah.
What about a Scanner Darkly?
And that's the thing about with Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves.
Weird.
But isn't it Keanu Reeves still? Yeah. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
Scanner Darkly?
Yeah.
That's what I mean, though.
His acting's animated in that.
He picks, but I'm saying he picks these movies that are, like, cool. They're, like, cool plots. He just happens to be involved in these movies.
I'm not saying I don't like Keanu Reeves.
He's probably dope.
And Owen Benjamin's not saying, like, you shouldn't like Keanu Reeves. Like, he's just pointing out that he's actually a shitty
actor.
Yeah. But
he does shit on everyone pretty hard.
Yep. Another thing he brought up too that made me be like, dude, I never thought about this, and it's fucking crazy. Like, you can't talk about this to people. Like he brought up the ideas of pandas being fake. He's like, panda bears are fucking fake.
I've heard
He's
this
like,
before.
or they're like, they were created by man. Like they were created. They're not natural.
Because they don't know to mate or something, or what?
So he brought up the point about how like there's no like ancient pictures and shit of pandas. Like you see ancient pictures of dragons and lions and tigers and basically any other animal, but like you never see a panda, right? And he was bringing up how pandas were discovered like in the late 1800s.
Okay.
Right? By a certain person.
Okay.
I don't know who it is, but
okay.
But
so they were discovered.
So like late 1800s. Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Right. Yeah. Tell me about this.
How are pandas a psyop?
Actually, can we pause for 30 seconds? Like, I gotta go to the.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Give me 1
Go
second.
ahead.
Just make sure my girlfriend.
He wants to hear this. He wants to hear this panda thing.
Yeah, you're good. We don't have to pause. We can keep talking.
Right on. I don't want to talk about the panda thing.
I just named the podcast right there.
Okay. Oh, did you? So that movie scared you, huh?
Yeah.
We talk about Batman real quick.
Batman looks sick.
The new Batman trailer dropped. The actual new Batman trailer.
I think
not the one Jim gave us. Yeah, dude, it fucking looks really good.
Let's watch it real quick.
You want to watch? Put it up on there.
Yeah, we can. It just demonetizes the episode, so we just can't make money off of this particular episode, which we're not making money off of any of these particular episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Do you know what's really good about it though? Like what I love. Well, I love a lot of things about it. You turn down so we could talk about it while it's.
Yeah, go ahead. They can't hear it.
So, it's got that 7 vibe. Obviously, we talked about that before, but I really love if you watch it. They're not showing Paul Dano.
No,
they're not showing him.
Nope. I know.
There's got to be a reason for that. You know,
because it's gonna be like a Heath Ledger.
It's got to be. That's what I'm thinking, man. Like they're not showing Paul Dano for a fucking reason. And we talked about before about how Dano gets slept on.
He's gonna murder that role.
He's going to. And like we talked about, There Will Be Blood. Can you turn it down a little bit?
Yeah.
So I can talk and think. You know, he was in There Will Be Blood and went toe to toe with fucking Daniel Day-Lewis. And that, you know, especially that infamous "I drink your milkshakes" scene. Like everyone does I drink it up. I put my straw in your milkshake and I drink it up. But like fucking Daniel kills it in that scene. Kills it.
He kills him the whole movie. Dude.
Yes, he does.
Whole movie.
So I think they're hiding him. They're keeping him a surprise.
What do you think about this guy's Batman?
Yo, the wings are tied, by the way, and it's end of. Is that third or second? Real quick. It's critical juncture.
I got everything on the screen right now. Yeah,
they're about to go into overtime. But yeah,
we're gonna get super pulled for this particular scene. I have everything.
Got Red Wings going.
Start talking about Europa.
I do want to hear about the pandas.
Yeah, we're gonna get there. We started talking about Batman, the new Batman trailer.
Okay.
Have you watched it?
No. Is this the one that? I mean, I remember last time he tried to show the one with the guy from Twilight.
This is the real new one.
I got
this
you.
Is like the new
Same
one.
Guy or new guy?
Well, this is a new guy, Robert Pattinson.
So is that Catwoman?
This is Robert Pattinson?
Yeah, Pattinson. Yeah,
I think he's gonna kill it. Is that Catwoman?
Yeah, that was Catwoman. That's Penguin right there. That's fucking what's his name? God. What do you got? You got the Spanish one on?
Yeah, I don't know what language that
was. Jim's got the fucking Spanish dubbed fucking.
It's like ingreso.com.
How did you even get this one? It should have been the fucking first one on the screen.
Breves, no cinemas.
Whatever. Jeez. Yeah, we're just
Oh man.
God, what's his name? I can't think of his name. Fucking let me bring up. But anyways.
Oh, the game is on, dude.
Looks good. I think it looks really good.
I'm definitely have to check that out. I'm a big fan of Batman.
I like how he they show him using like an electric device on like one of the thugs, like electrocuting him. He like grabs him by the neck and it like electrocutes.
This is the actual one.
Okay. I don't have any volume of it.
I can give you some.
There you go.
I don't want to leave the listeners watching a trailer.
I think that this is
right here.
Do you want to stop it?
Yeah.
This is sick.
It's gonna be really sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets shot like 1,000 times in this trailer.
Yeah,
he's rugged. That's what I like about Batman.
Colin Farrell.
That
was Colin Farrell.
That like scene
Penguin,
where he's punching the glass is such a nice like homage.
Joker. Yeah. Where is he?
Homage.
Where are they?
Yeah. Homage. Yeah.
Homage.
Amish. That's Colin Farrell.
I gotta think about the Amish.
Dude, we gotta talk about
it. I have nothing.
I don't know anything about them either.
The Amish are running the show, dog.
Bro, they're chilling right now.
Yeah, it just looks fucking gritty and shit. And
I didn't know that was Penguin either.
Yeah, that's Colin Farrell as Penguin, dude.
I'm glad
it doesn't even look like him.
I'm glad they're going more in that direction as opposed to trying to do like a silly Batman. You know, like I don't want any more of those like
because Nolan,
Mr. Freeze.
Like, blasted. Look at he's getting blasted with machine guns right there. Like he's just taking it. He's just walking into it. You know.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
All those fools had to do was just get a little chin shot, though.
I know exactly.
Like that was it. Just one.
Game over.
Just
Batman's done.
Nick to the chin.
I like it because it looks like he's like a uncontrolled Batman. Like this is supposed to be his second year.
Yeah,
and it's supposed to take place in the 90s.
I think they still vilify him. I think they're
he's
making him the villain a little bit,
an anti-hero,
kind of.
Yeah, but I think what they're gonna do with this, which would be a smart idea, is they're making him like he doesn't know how to control himself yet as Batman. You know what I'm saying? Like he's letting his anger get the best of him, and he's like the way he's beating up those thugs and shit. Like he's taking it overboard a lot.
Yep.
Which is why he would be looked down upon by a lot, like the cops and shit. But yeah, you want to get back on the pandas though, don't you?
I mean, I want to know, because I want to compare it to what I think in here.
So he brought up the point how they were basically discovered by like a guy in the late 1800s, and then he's talking about how like they have a problem, like they only ovulate, like female pandas only ovulate like once a year. Okay. Like one time a year.
Yeah.
And we all know that they have problems with like getting pandas to fuck.
Yeah.
Right? Like so there's that, like they have no defense against predators at all. Like
they don't use their claws or their teeth.
No, like they have no defense against predators. Like think about every time you watch a video of like a panda, it's like the panda like falling out of a tree, you know, or like falling over. Or like rolling, you know what I'm saying? Like it's usually like a panda like falling or rolling or something like that.
When were they discovered?
They eat bamboo, dude. That's it. They don't eat fucking meat. They eat fucking bamboo, and they don't fuck. Like they only ovulate like once a year, apparently.
So what are they like?
So like that goes against nature, right there.
Human animal hybrid.
There, you know, I don't know. He was saying they're midgets in costume.
What?
No, he wasn't. Oh man.
I don't know if he's serious or not. I didn't know. He did say it, and it did sound like he was serious. I don't know, because I mean, he used to be a comedian, or he is a comedian, so you know. But yeah,
maybe it's created in a lab or something. It's like a hybrid.
That's like another, like a theory, and like.
Yeah, look at they got like some weak ass teeth.
Yeah, they eat bamboo.
This guy's looks like a meth head. They get high from the bamboo, don't they?
I don't know, man. The thing is, I've never looked into pandas this in depth.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if anything I just said is true or not. Like, I really don't.
I don't know, dude.
I did no research on pandas. It sounds right,
but
though.
It makes sense. Like, if you just think about why aren't they reproducing? Like,
exactly.
What's happening?
Like
there?
Everything about them goes against like nature.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Like they shouldn't. Like if they have that much trouble fucking and they don't protect themselves and they're stupid and they fall and they're super clumsy and shit.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason that they should be able to thrive
they shouldn't,
in the wild.
Basically, yeah, they shouldn't exist basically at this point.
Especially for like how big they are and shit. Like they're not fast. I don't know if they're fast. I should get that up.
Bro, that
look it up. Look up if a panda's fast. Though.
Dude, that
in my
looks
mind,
cool. Where he's eating the bamboo right there.
I'm thinking a panda's not fast. Yeah. Like I bet it could be, like if it wanted to be.
Go to
fast.
the pandas on fake Reddit.
I bet you they're never fast though.
It looked like a super pro panda page. I don't know if I trust it,
dude. The background was a panda hanging itself.
Was it?
Yeah, on the Reddit page was pandas hanging themselves.
I did see it, but I didn't look into it.
Oh.
Okay, it's saying they're fast, but is there videos of a panda going fast?
No, that's a car, not a panda. That it's at 129 kilometers per hour. That's a panda car, not a panda bear.
How fast is that?
Go back. I don't know. It's got to be faster than a panda can go, though.
No, the average running speed
17 miles
17. Go back.
What's the human running
Hit
speed?
Back.
What's a human running speed?
Probably what, 30?
No,
20?
I think like 10, like 8,
No.
9 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour.
Yeah, he might be right.
Yeah,
we do not know how fast or slow things are. On this
Why
show.
is everything? Yeah. No,
Why is everything in kilometers?
I was about to say that.
Yeah,
Can't you just get
kilometers.
Can you get out American already?
The Batman thing was Spanish. Like, where you at, Jim?
I got my IP.
It's masked.
Yeah, I got my IP. It's all fucking what were those called? Proxies?
VPNs.
No,
VPNs?
look up like a brown bear. Like what's a brown? How fast does a brown bear go?
I don't know, dog. Brown bear land speed.
Stop saying land speed.
Yeah, look, it says 244 miles per hour. That's not a brown bear.
Dad, do you not know how to search shit?
Brown land speed.
You want me to do this? Let me do this, right?
You do have a computer.
I do. I know I gotta
Are the
use
wings
it
in
now.
overtime yet?
Dog, you just brought up frogs.
He was on there. You've been looking at frogs? Damn, okay.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah, pandas are fucking fake as shit, dude, I guess. He likes to bring up, like, the simple things that don't make sense in the world. Like, he tries to bring up how much we're lied to.
Yeah.
You know? How much they lie to us.
So I don't even think that's very simple. It's just, there's so much, you know?
Okay, a brown bear can go 35 miles per hour.
It's fast.
All right, that's pretty fast, yeah.
How fast can a human go? What did you use? Not land speed?
Running speed.
The land
Where's the
speed.
wording for that?
You still got frogs up on the screen. You just made up that thing about bears.
8 miles per hour.
8?
Yeah, I'd still. So it said
Damn, I
it
said
said the
30.
panda.
Whoa.
The panda was 17 miles per hour, but I want to see a video of that.
You think that's you think they're Google searches a fucking
Well, look it up. I'm just saying. I don't
You
know.
just did.
I've never seen if a panda seen a video of a panda running. You know, I bet you watch this video and I bet it's gonna be them falling over.
Yeah.
You know, and like doing little somersaults, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's so cute."
There you go. 23 seconds.
Make sure.
It's in Spanish.
Yeah, it's just,
This one's giving me a warning here. That ain't fast. That ain't quick. That thing is quick, dog.
yeah.
That thing is fast.
But it
Like, look at it. You see how they're just rolling over clumsy as shit.
Yeah.
Like,
it makes sense though that they don't like why they don't want to reproduce. That's weird. Is it because they're raised in captivity or because
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start saying instead of show me a plane, I'm gonna show me a panda running.
Show me a panda
Show me
running.
a panda running.
Show me a panda
Alright.
in nature.
They're fake.
They're fucking fake.
So, do you want to go into the flat Earth stuff?
Sounds like you do, Enzo.
I don't know anything about it, to be honest with you. Like, I know a few things, limited, but I don't really know like
Well, no one
the
does.
crux of what they're trying to say.
They're just trying to say that we're being lied to. Like, there's a different side.
Yeah.
There's a possibility we're being lied to.
But what do they say the implications are for like space? And what do they say like
They're saying it's just as crazy to think of what NASA tells us
Yeah.
as it is to think that Earth is flat. It's like just as crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just as insane. Like when you think about, they tell us that our Earth is
Oh, so
rotating
sphere, yeah.
at 1,000 miles per hour while going around the sun at 6,000 miles per hour.
Okay.
You know, while corkscrewing across the universe
Yeah.
at like 1,000,000 miles per hour.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, and we're not running into shit. And
Should I
like,
be searching Earth land speed?
Yeah, land speed.
you know, like that's
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
crazy.
Okay,
like
so
just think about it. Think
what
about
do-
what they're telling you. Like
I
that's
know, yeah.
insane. You know, whether it's true or not, it's fucking crazy. How is thinking that we live on like a plane with a dome that was created by something?
And it's funny
You know,
they just deduct
because-
it down to a speck of nothing that
Yeah.
created everything.
Like the Big Bang.
Yeah, the Big Bang.
You know.
they're just like
nothing
happened.
Nothing makes sense,
Nothing
yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
First, it was just this.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of things that are basically we don't know about, man. There's a lot of things.
I
we
think
don't
a
know
lot of it.
about.
A lot of it is to take away the idea of a creator. You know,
Okay.
when you look at NASA's model for it,
Okay.
we're insignificant. Like we're a speck of sand in our galaxy. You know,
Yeah.
like you're nothing.
Yeah.
Like you don't mean anything, and that's what
Okay.
they're trying to do to you is make you meaningless. right? Where
like
the other model is like, no, like this, like we're here for a reason. Like we're here for a reason. Like there's a creator.
Okay. Well, I understand
whether
that
it's
aspect.
A computer simulation or if it's like a fucking test tube type thing, like something created us.
But the leading flat earthers, like what are their best? What I guess like what I want to know.
Oh, you want to know? Like you don't know anything, huh?
I don't know anything. I want to know what are their
some
like
questions,
best arguments that they are putting forth.
Gravity.
Okay.
Like gravity's a theory.
Okay.
We're being told everything is being held down by gravity, but like, clouds weigh 1 million pounds.
Yeah. Okay.
Like a cloud, an average cloud weighs like 1 million pounds, and it's floating up there. A butterfly can fly. It's not getting pulled to the ground, but all this ocean water is being pulled to the ground.
I think it's just a perspective. I think
but he wants to know what they're saying.
It's just
the
making
things
my
they're
brain
saying.
A lot of that
get
stuff,
you thinking.
A lot of that stuff is also designed to make you like completely deny it instantly.
What do you mean?
Like a lot of like the ideas and the mythology of it is to make it sound absurd, and they like push that. But the idea of it is like this accepting yourself as an existence that means something, opposed to living as a speck of sand and 1 million things are just gonna collide and explode around you. It's like that's how I look at it personally.
Well, the thing is, like, it's perspective. I guess what I'm just thinking is like
exactly. That's what they're saying about like curvature and shit. Like there's a calculator that you can there's a formula for how much the Earth curves. All right, so like every so many miles there should be so much amount of curvature happening,
for
which is why when you look at out in the ocean, right, or like
you see a ship
you see a ship and it disappears, right, and they're like, oh, that's because it's going bending down the curve, But now what they're finding out with like cameras like that and shit that have like these really good zooms,
what camera?
like any like certain Nikons, like a Nikon whatever,
it has a rangefinder,
has a super far zoom, right? So like they're finding out they're taking those ships that disappear and they're zooming in on them, and they're level. All of a sudden they're level. Okay, so even if they were going on a curve, even if they zoomed in, you should still be seeing the tip of like the ship, underneath the curve.
You should be seeing it going down.
No, you shouldn't be able to see it even zoomed in.
Because it's already
if your camera's
down.
Level, with your eyesight, and you're focusing on the same thing, that ship should still be under the curve.
Right. In the model of it being a circle.
Yes. But it's not when they zoom in because it's perspective. It's perspective. It's how our eyes see. We have vanishing points,
Okay, so that's interesting. Like the reason I asked is because, like, for example, when you guys had me on the first podcast, if you would have give me like a couple points of what Europa is, I don't think I could have like summed it up as well. But like, the reason I wanted to know about that is because I just wanted to kind of get some of their. I mean, those are interesting things. I guess I haven't really thought about, and it makes me question it. I guess I have never. The thing is this: it's disturbing to even consider that it's really gone to that level.
What?
Like,
if it's true?
Yes, like it's really gone to that level where you can't even believe basic physical science. You can't believe the things you were taught in freaking basic grade school.
Well,
like, it's I don't understand that
why.
Level.
I don't get like that's a lot of people have a hard time like even considering the idea that flat Earth is a possibility, or just the fact that Earth isn't what they tell us. Because people are like, oh, well, so many people would have to be in on it.
No, I don't think that.
And it's like, well, no, like only a certain few people would have to be in on it, and then they feed the information to their employees, right, who don't know anything about it, but the information they're feeding on is what they're working off of, right? So like and then the whole idea of like, oh, there's have to be so many people involved in it, and it's like, well, dude, you guys like especially if you're a parent, like Santa Claus, bro. Santa Claus is a huge conspiracy. That's like a kid's first conspiracy, all right? And how many people are involved in a child's first conspiracy? Millions, man. Millions of people lie to their kids about fucking Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I also think that in these scenarios, people, they have compromised morals. They want to be part of an in group, so they are more willing to like maybe do things that they wouldn't normally do. You know?
Look at that. My kids think that fucker right there brings them their presents on Christmas. Okay?
Yeah.
Like,
but
not
they're kids.
Mom and dad slaving away at work to bring them the fucking presents. No, that motherfucker gets the glory of it.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Because we lie to them.
It's an idea, yeah.
We lie to them about this, you know? Actually, if you're a parent, this is something I actually struggled with as a parent, was like, how am I going to do Santa Claus?
Yeah.
And if any parents out there are like that, felt like that, or feel like that the same way, what I ended up doing with my kids is like, I don't ever tell my kids Santa Claus is real.
Okay.
I tell them the story of Santa Claus, and then, you know, I'll be like, do you believe that? And, you know, they'll be like, oh yeah, I believe that. And I'll be like, okay, you know, and like my daughter would be like, do you believe in Santa Claus? And I'll be like, do you want me to believe in Santa Claus? You know, and she'll be like, yeah. And I'll be like, then I believe in Santa Claus.
Go.
But she knows that there's people that don't believe in Santa Claus, and that there's people that do believe in Santa Claus. So she gets a choice, you know, and I just play along with it. I think it helps me a little bit with myself.
Yeah, like it's just.
But it's a fucking conspiracy,
dude. It's a tradition. It's just a tradition that we have, and you know, there's nothing wrong with.
For sure,
like,
it's innocent. Yeah, I get it. It's innocent. But my point is though, is that like we're lying. You know what I'm saying? Like we're straight up lying to kids for a very long portion of their lives. Jim found out last year.
Yeah.
You know?
I still don't believe it. No. He's real.
So if like or even masks, like the idea of like the mask, like fucking 30 or 40 years from now, there's going to be a documentary somewhere put together by somebody, you know, about like, you know, how masks didn't work, you know, masks didn't work. And like people are going to like watch it and be like, oh my God, this guy's crazy for making this video. You know how many people would have to be involved with that if masks really didn't work? But yet here we all are wearing our fucking masks, right?
Everyone's wearing it.
Yeah.
And the thing is this, man, we've just seen so much. I think 9/11, we all agree, was like all opened everyone's eyes, and then over the next 10 to 20 years, things started to happen rapid pace. Just more recently, though, I think anybody of, in my opinion, sound mind and has their eyes open, they've seen things that are clearly lies. You know, whether it's, like you said, masks, whether it's hydroxychloroquine.
Nope. I don't know if you just say that.
Damn. Yeah, whether it's, you know, all right, whether it's that or other, you know, therapeutics that are available, you know, whether it's the situation with the last election. That's why I said to think that it goes even to science now, where it's like we really have to question everything. It's been in science,
man. I mean, it's a proven fact of how our pharmaceutical industry started.
But beyond with the Rothschilds, that's like the shape of the earth, dude. That's like not even science. Thing, that's like we're starting to get to like, okay, like the elements, water, earth. Like, I mean, I shouldn't say that. Like, we're getting to the point now where it's not just something with like COVID or medicine or pharmaceuticals. We're getting to the point now where we have to question literally all the science, all the history, everything.
But that science is no different. Like being like them lying about the earth is no different than them lying about pharmaceuticals.
It's not, but it's just
no different.
It's just like,
it's no different,
did we
especially
get here?
Especially
you know?
when you look at how powerful the pharmaceutical industry is. It's probably the most powerful industry in the world. Yeah. Pharmaceuticals, you know, and like that was like you can go back and see like the Rothschilds took that over. They figured out that they can make cheaper petroleum based medicines.
Yeah, petrochemicals.
Yeah,
petrochemicals.
I just had Santa's up on the screen the whole time.
It's all right.
You know, they can make petrol medicine and fucking and give it to us at a cheaper rate and make more money off it. Right? And get rid of fucking natural medicine. And that's why, like, before, I think it was like, the early 1900s that they started taking over on the pharmaceutical industry. And before that, there was a lot of holistic and fucking natural type medicines that people went through. And now what they did is they're like, oh, that stuff's all bullshit. Here, take this petroleum-based medicine that we give you and poison you with.
Around what year did you say? early 1900 around the same time other things were happening.
I assume. I'm not a positive on that.
No, I bet you're right
true.
though.
It's probably
because that's a lot. That's a time period where a lot of shit happened.
Yep.
A lot of shit happened late 1800s, early 1900s. That goes into Tartaria. You know.
Tartaria,
dude.
I need to hear more about this. I don't know. Much
there's a
about
lot of people that think that like everything, under everything behind 1870 is all like, it's all old. It's all history's a lie.
Yes.
Yes. Like they're hiding. They spent up till 1870 hiding something or destroying evidence of a certain civilization, and then came out with their own like type of history.
Dude, I'm so glad we got on this topic. That's exactly what that Asha Logos podcast is about. The video I sent you guys.
Oh, the one we didn't watch.
The one that you guys haven't watched yet. Yeah. It's all about that same thing, subverted history. Like,
wait, is this a podcast that you sent us?
It's not a podcast. It's like.
Is there a way I can listen?
Yes, but he puts like imagery and he'll show like statues that he's talking about or documents, and then he talks in the background.
But is there a way I can is there something I can listen to instead?
You can just put it on the background. I don't know. I'm not sure, man. To be honest with you, I
can't do that on my
YouTube
phone.
Channel.
I can't do that on YouTube.
But
just
it's hard for me to like watch something.
No, just play it.
This is one that you have to watch.
But then I gotta keep my phone on.
Oh, you have to watch it.
Let me explain why. Like, okay, he goes into like the Buddha, for example, and like he talks about this thing called like the Oseberg Buddha. It's a sculpture of a Buddha that they found in a Viking burial chamber. Okay, like in Sweden somewhere, and they determined that it was crafted locally with local materials, so it didn't come from India, basically. Okay, but this is around like in the early, I don't know, like when it was 800 BC or something like that, or 800. I don't know when it was, but so he shows a bunch of things like that basically show that a lot of our current understanding of history has been falsified. Like you said, anything before.
Yeah, a certain like point. Yeah.
Yes, like there's a lot of things you don't know, like, or we don't know, like early depictions of Buddha.
Yeah.
Are with like light pale skin, red hair, or yellow or blonde hair.
It's great. I mean, like the Library of Alexandria, right? Okay. Like that burnt down. Like that wasn't an accident.
No.
Like, you know how much fucking knowledge was in there?
Yeah.
You know how much fucking like history was in there, important history? Like that fucker that was burned for a reason.
Yep.
Type of shit.
The same reason they're trying to take down the statues, my friend.
It might not even be. I bet you most of that shit's wasn't even destroyed. I bet most of it's like under the Vatican.
Dude, you're gonna love the video I sent you. Oh my god, I cannot wait till you watch it. Dude, I'm not even joking. It's about this exact topic. You have to check that out.
I'm scared to be honest.
There's nothing, dude. It's honestly, there's nothing scary about it. Like,
look in the flat Earth, bro. I think you will like that. I think you'll like it.
Okay.
I'll look into what you're telling me.
Here's one thing. You know that most of the Egyptian pharaohs, they had pale skin and red hair, and they have the haplogroups R1A and R1B, which is most commonly like today associated with Northern Europeans. Is that something that we would have ever learned in school? No, but that's a fact. I mean, you can they'll go over that in that video.
Yeah, but there's always gonna be somebody that like what you're saying right now. There's gonna be someone that's like, well, actually, maybe this and this and this happened, and they were this color and this color, and then someone's gonna comment on that and be like, well, actually, they were from Spain.
But they're gonna show it. Like I'm saying,
they were trans.
No. My point being is that here's my point being, like, for example, one of the things he asserts is that like our ancestors in Europe, for example, like they didn't just sit in Europe for thousands of years. Like the ancestors of Beethoven and Nikola Tesla and Werner von Braun and Marcus Aurelius and all these people, they didn't just sit in Europe for all these millennia. They were spread all over the world. You know how like they told us. You ever hear the story of like Leif Erikson, the Viking that discovered America before Columbus? It's like they tell us that Columbus was the first person to discover America.
I never understood. Was he or was he not?
No,
he's
like,
not,
he wasn't,
dude.
right? Because
No.
you learn that he was, and then you learn a
That
couple
he
of years
wasn't.
later in like
Exactly.
8th grade that he wasn't, and you're like, well, what the fuck?
Okay.
I had to put that he did on a test 2 years ago. You know?
Yeah, so like that's a perfect example of what you're talking about right there. It's like
So where's the confusion there?
it's just
With
I don't know,
Columbus?
Yeah.
man. I mean,
Why was he credited?
why
for
are
it?
they trying to destroy history? That's the question, or like hide
Because
different parts
they
of it.
won. Like,
But what are you saying about this Viking?
but that's why the history would win the world. Like the history is the winner.
Like-
It's like they won.
yeah.
So it's like they beat the people that were
discovered
there.
it.
Yeah.
You're gonna see in this video what I'm talking about more, but like that's just my point is that, for example, the Vikings were already traveling around America
Yes.
like way before, which
Yeah,
means that like
I've seen something about Egyptians and like Egyptians boats. Like they're finding, like
Yes.
they found Egyptian boats that like suggest that they were fucking doing long journeys.
Yes.
There's
over
boats off the
oceans.
coast
Yes.
of Africa that were huge that they're pretty sure got all the way to South America.
Yes.
And there's like, there's people think that there was like a lot of Africans in the Americas when all these people got here.
Dude, that's so fucking gnarly to think about.
Think about
like
that.
some Viking fucking like I mean,
They're-
even like Columbus, or like anybody that sailed like over oceans, you know what I'm saying? Like to like trying to find land, like just think about that, like being out in sea that long, like
this video
that's
that
gnarly.
video that I
It's a
sent
gnarly
you.
thing to go through,
Be so scary.
especially
Listen
in
to
like
this,
the
though.
boats and shit made of
Fuck
wood
yeah.
and like.
Everyone dies and shit too.
I don't know, man. This video I sent you, there's this guy. His name's Thor Heyerdahl. He's like a historian that was like specialized in, I don't know, that era, like ancient times.
Prehistory.
Yeah, and he said that basically the oceans are not barriers; they're like highways, and that for most of recorded history, that they could actually travel, like based on the ocean currents, and then.
Well,
He
yeah.
eventually did this thing where he like
Sure.
got in this boat that he made a boat out of like indigenous materials that they would only be able to find like back then basically, and they traveled all the way across the Indian Ocean just based on the current, and it was like with a primitive boat. And so he's saying that like, well, this video, Asha Logos, this guy, what he's trying to say is that like the things we've been taught that like we were only in Europe until like Columbus discovered America. It's like, no, they were traveling like all over the world in
Okay.
ancient times. Like,
Yeah. Explaining why like structures like we see like prehistoric
pyramids,
structures.
Mayans, they're the same.
Yeah,
you know,
because people were they're already moving. They're
Yes.
out and about like at this time. They weren't they weren't stuck into one place.
Yes.
They were moving. That's like where you get like the Olmec heads and stuff in Mexico.
Yeah.
Like they're like they look at them and they're like, oh, they think that these have African features.
yeah,
So there was obviously African travelers there.
yes. That's
And-
all that this guy's talking about, and like
How did they got to Hawaii, dude? Like
exactly,
they got to Hawaii. Like they got
Yes.
to Japan. They got to all these islands. Like that it was, and they knew how to use the ocean, like you said, like a highway.
like a highway, exactly.
Maybe
It's
it wasn't as grueling as we think of it.
Yeah, if they traveled the right way,
It was
like
probably
certain
still
times
pretty
of year.
grueling. They're probably like salting like dead
Who knows,
human
man?
legs and
It's
stuff.
crazy to think about, though. Like, why would they lie about that? Like, that's one thing. They have us believing that all of history, like, it was like we were all isolated in our countries. Like, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to we were all just kind of like traveling all around, and we all left different traces on different continents. For example, like one of the other things he goes in is there's this tribe in South America. They're called the Chachapuas Tribe or something. They're like, when one of the conquistadors came to South America, he saw that they had like fair skin and like they were like basically white. And so that's like what I'm saying is that like,
Are you just saying everyone was white?
no, I'm just saying, yeah, everyone's white. No, like there's like
Jake don't believe in pandas and you don't believe in black.
yeah, they don't exist. No, I'm just saying that it's like you said, there's traces of
What the fuck?
People like there's people, there's traces of different people all over different continents, all over the world.
Yeah.
Throughout ancient history is what I'm trying to get at, basically.
Yeah.
Because we migrated around.
We explored.
Yes, we didn't just sit there,
and fucking.
And I like the idea. I'm like obsessed with the idea that the technology wasn't like it really wasn't like inferior. Like
in some ways.
Oh my god, dude! Owen Benjamin fucking talked about like plain fuel being fake.
What does that mean?
I've heard about that.
What do you mean by
like
that?
The amount of fuel
that they run on,
that they would have to run on is like stupid. It would take like it's like I don't know 25. I don't know. You can look it up. Like 747. How much fuel? It's like a ridiculous amount of fuel would be needed and would make it so heavy.
What is his argument?
It would take like 20 cranes to pick up the wings of these fucking he's saying it's like
a secret type of fuel.
No, it's like a hidden energy, like a
that's what I mean.
Yeah, like they use like this like anti-gravity stuff.
Yeah.
Listen to this
now.
Well, this is related to the same topic. Alex Jones in that Joe Rogan podcast said that they had like virtual reality goggles, the patents for it back in like the 1950s or something like that. And he says that the technology they have is like actually way more advanced than what we have or what like they show to us. And that made me think of like maybe that's what you're saying is like, I mean, I don't know what goes on in planes obviously, but it's just weird to think about. Like, I guess I never thought about that before.
Have you ever thought about like the idea of there's technology out there that can see the future?
I don't know.
Like that can
not really. I don't even know.
That can like productively predict through like computing,
AI and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know they're like
there's like Project Looking Glass.
Project Looking Glass.
I've never heard of it.
Okay. I'll find a video to send you.
Okay.
Did you listen to Tripley's podcast? The one with the guy,
the most recent one.
Yeah.
Talking about Q.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. He's talking about like Project Looking Glass.
Yeah, pretty much.
He is,
or like a branch of it.
What is it?
I think he's talking. It sounds more like a branch of it.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's
like
the same,
Q is a branch.
The same
of the people
idea.
Involved with Looking Glass.
Looking Glass is the idea of having a technology that can programmably predict the future.
Like it
through AI and machine learning. Yeah.
Yes.
What do you call it? Like it
And they like
probabilities.
Yeah.
Through probabilities.
Yeah. Like I mean that's
creating timelines based off probabilities and shit.
Trust the science.
And then they like run experiments and they put like in variables and they try to see like
it's supposedly
how people respond.
It's supposedly Looking Glass is like alien technology or like some type of advanced technology, right? That was found
or hidden.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know,
secret sorcery.
Could be Tartarian or whatever, you know, who knows.
Yeah.
Anunnaki.
And
who knows, man. They
have people. How to explain this? It's hard to find stuff on Looking Glass. Like it's hard to find.
Yeah, well, because the internet, everything's censored beyond belief.
Exactly.
But they talk about it. A lot of different people talk about it. They just talk about it with a different name. That's like it's discussed in the
that
AI
kind of thing
and stuff world too.
And that kind of thing would be. It was like that dude who's that guy that did the alien guy that they had the Netflix special about. Bob
Lazar.
Bob Lazar.
What's his deal?
So like Bob Lazar talked about how like there's people that didn't know what his the people in the same building as him didn't know what he was working on.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to know what he's working on. He's not allowed to know what other people are working on. I think like that kind of like
I think he
like Looking Glass would be like the same type of situation, which is like so like this guy, you might see an interview of this guy talking about it and he brings up something that sounds just like Looking Glass. He is talking about Looking Glass. He just doesn't know he is talking about Looking Glass because he's not allowed certain information, that this other guy is. And
the thing is, the public.
Do you ever think though that like maybe Looking Glass, it's like that whole thing having a name to it is just like it still could be happening. It's just what this name that someone's like referring to it as, but they know in concept like what you're saying, like this military software company is building AI technology to predict the future to like control.
Well, that's what it is. That's what the story is, and like one of the main, like a big story of it is that like they've been running it, and it keeps coming out supposedly like around 2012, when it gets to 2012, something happens and it goes with all these like, okay, how am I explaining this? So before 2012, there's like a bunch of different timeline probabilities, right?
Okay.
Like that it's computing or like it's showing them,
like
showing them
options.
all these possible outcomes, right? But then when it hits 2012, it goes to 1.
Okay.
They all converge just to one timeline, right? And supposedly there's been people that have been trying to, put in different variables into it to change it to see if they can change a different outcome. Okay. Right, and they've made a separate timeline to it, but it keeps it stays separate for a minute and then it goes back, right? And what they're trying to say is that like, they're saying that it's that timeline is the awakening. It's like
they can't get away from it.
They can't get away from the awakening process.
Okay.
Even though they've been able to create a separate timeline off of it, it goes back.
That's what.
So like now, if that's true, like right now we're living in their attempt to break from that timeline right now. So that this timeline we're in is going to be a timeline of shit. That's eventually going to go back.
Yeah. Well, I certainly believe that they are socially engineering us and definitely using AI and machine learning to, direct outcomes that they want. And I definitely agree that that's going on. I guess my thing is...
You ever fuck with Banana Earth?
What's that?
Andrew was telling me about there was a program they ran a computer program, a predictive computer program for Vietnam in like the 60s.
Okay.
Right? Or I don't know if it was the 60s or no, it was during Vietnam. It was like early 70s or something.
Okay.
I guess he was telling me like they ran some computer program to show that it was supposed to show them the outcome of Vietnam, and then what happened was it said that we won Vietnam, but in like 1968 or something like that, and it was already like 1973. I don't know, when did Vietnam end? When was Vietnam?
Not sure.
Sounds right though.
That's interesting. Fall of Saigon, 1975.
1975. So I think this was like in 1974 or something like that. And like the outcome of the computer was that we should have won in like 69.
Well, war simulation, war games didn't match up. I know recently they said that the USA lost in like a war game simulation against China. I heard that recently. Who knows? Maybe they're not correct.
I think, that happened. I think we lost against China a long time ago.
Yeah.
I think once we started getting all of our manufacturing done there, and it was over. It was over. Or everywhere else. Just the idea of it going everywhere else.
Since we're talking about these conspiracies right now, like I want to jump back into pop culture, because we watched a really good. It's not like a horror, but it's like a thriller movie. It's called The Conspiracy.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's really good. It's like a documentary style movie. Like looks like it's a documentary,
Yeah.
But it's about these two guys that are interviewing this crazy conspiracy theorist dude.
Okay.
Right, and then he goes missing, and so one of the filmmakers starts looking into what he was looking into, and figures out what he was connecting. And he goes down that rabbit hole real deep, right? And they basically find out that they're looking into this like almost like a Bilderberg group, like this secret society called the Taurus Club.
Is this movie about my life?
Dude, what's really good about this movie is because it talks about all conspiracies. Like the first half of the movie is just like conspiracy theories that like we all know about, like Bilderberg group and all this shit, And it's talking about all that, like 9/11, everything. And then what happens is there's a group in it, like a fake group in it that is basically like, high powered people worshiping this real they're called what are they called? It's a real cult that existed. The Mithraic Cult. All right, and the Mithraic Cult was a we don't really know much about them, but they think it was like an early rival to Christianity, right? And so that's how old it is, right? But they don't know much about it. But these people are that cult, right? And they're all high power globalists.
Pretty much sounds like how it is in real life.
Exactly. So what they do in the movie is they infiltrate it. They go undercover into their meeting, and like this crazy shit happens. But it's a really good movie, especially if you're into conspiracies. Like the guy, whoever wrote this, like, are definitely, conspiracy theorists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like they're trying to showing like an Alex Jones type thing where, how he went to, what's it called?
Bohemian
Grove and like filmed Bohemian Grove. That's what this is. Like they go to this society's meeting.
The thing that's always annoyed me about this is like,
the conspiracy.
I hate that that word, the like conspiracy. I'm so tired of.
Well, you gotta look at what a conspiracy is, because that's kind of like when I was talking about Santa Claus.
It's kind of accurate, but I'm saying like so many of these things turn out to be true and actually are going on, but people don't even care that they're going on. They just attach it to this word conspiracy. It's like saying.
What you have to do is get back to.
So think about this. Look at the definition of conspiracy is a secret plan by a group to do something unlawful or harmful. All right.
Yes.
Which is like, is basically everything. Like that So people are like, oh, conspiracies are stupid. And it's like, no, you witness conspiracies every day.
Yes.
It takes a group of people. A group of people could be two people. You know,
but
so like you going to work.
But hold on, you just read it as it's meant to do harm.
Yeah, or something unlawful
or harmful. Okay, so Sam Tripoli had a guy on there talking about how every revolution in the history of the world starts as a conspiracy, because revolutionists are a group of people that do plan in secret to do something unlawful. To change.
Conspiracy means to breed together too.
You know what though? But that's not what we're calling it though. We're calling it. It's like, okay, yes, I see what you're saying. Like people are getting together in a group and doing something unlawful, and so when we describe the people that are controlling society, that's essentially what they're doing. But now a conspiracy is like. Anything that is just against the official narrative is now a conspiracy.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying though. It's fucked that it's so hard for normies.
The official narrative itself is the actual conspiracy. It's so hard for normies
to be like, oh, like there's too many people who would have to be involved with NASA. Like that's too big of a lie. And it's like conspiracy theories are stupid. Like they but it's like when you go to work and you and your buddy, plan something, or like, oh, we're gonna go out to lunch, but we're not gonna tell Steve. Don't invite Steve. Like you're a conspiracy. You're conspiring right there.
You're a conspirator. But I mean,
like it's a normal human
we do it every day.
Yeah. But the official narrative, the official story, like I'm just thinking of one particular incident. Like I'm just gonna say, that guy in the summertime, I don't even want to say his name because I don't know. I know his name, but. George Floyd, like when that was all going down.
Yeah. I think you could say that.
Okay,
you might actually
I don't know.
Get money for saying that.
Yeah, you might actually. When that whole thing went down, and then everything that followed after, like the official narrative is the conspiracy. What really goes down that everyone calls the conspiracies is if you say like, well, actually he was a criminal in his past life, he was a criminal. He wasn't really a good guy. He committed some pretty heinous crimes, and he was on.
Yeah, he seemed like a pretty piece of shit dude.
He was on fentanyl. Yeah, like exactly. Yeah. So that's nowadays to the most people though, that is the conspiracy, or what they call it a conspiracy. Oh, that's a conspiracy theory because if that were true, then why wouldn't we know about it, or why haven't I heard about it, or this and that.
They'd say, why does that matter? That's the real breakdown. They'd be like, why does that matter?
Why does what matter?
If he's a piece of shit. If he was a piece of shit, like does a piece of shit still deserve.
And then you could be like, well, then why are you so mad at Columbus?
Well, no, what I would say is this, like, you know what? When you live by the sword, you die by the sword, number one. Oh, man, I've been waiting to say that on air. No, no, but
it's got written on his hand.
Yeah, I've been waiting to say that. But the thing is, like, it's just the whole narrative itself is no, this guy was not an innocent person, you know, like he was someone who he lived a wild life. Sometimes bad things happen, you know, but the way they want to make it seem is that this was a righteous individual, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And so, I don't know.
They put him up on a pedestal.
Yeah, they flip it, and then they idolize him, and then they make a exhibit at the Holocaust Museum in his honor.
Oh, God. Might have to timestamp that one.
Yeah, timestamp that one.
Oh, he let it loose. It's all right.
Who won the Wings game?
That's a good question. Yeah. We could look that. I love the heavy, like, society is burning talk right into, hey, who won the Wings game?
I mean, we got to keep up on that, you know.
It's comfortable to numb, I guess.
You know, you guys were saying, like, in last week's episode or one of the episodes about sports and how it's like, you know, it's not the most important thing, but, you know, I think, dude, there's just something to appreciating great skill and tenacity and, like, you know, sports are cool. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. It's leadership. Like,
till you find out all these motherfuckers were, like, cloned and grown into a laboratory.
You really think that's how it was?
I don't know. Would you be surprised?
No, not at this point, yeah.
Did the Wings win?
I just asked him.
He's just watching replays. Oh, overtime.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah. All right. You know what I was saying earlier?
Yeah, all right.
You know what I was saying earlier about the jersey and how you told me to get Larkins?
Yeah.
I feel like he is an awesome player, but I don't think he's a generational player. And I'm waiting for someone to come up on the Wings that's like I want like a 50 goal scorer or something like that.
I'm telling you to get the captain's jersey because it's like a safe bet.
It is.
Yeah.
I know.
It's a safe bet. He's a fucking captain. Like, you can't go wrong with a captain jersey. You know.
True.
He's from the Met.
He's from the
I know.
Met.
Gotta rep that. And he's got the C, so it's like.
Well, you know
and
what?
he's dope with it.
Oh,
he is dope. Dude. Like,
he's good, but I mean, like I'm rocking.
You want like a McDavid,
dude? McDavid. I'll tell you why I like McDavid.
Oh, I gotta have a McDavid jersey.
No, he's fast and he dekes. Like, I like players that do dekes and they score. He's
a strong kid too.
Yeah, dude.
He's a strong kid.
He breaks ankles. Like,
oh yeah,
that's what I like.
He's a really good hockey player.
So I'm just waiting until the Wings get someone like that. Hey, maybe it's Sider. Then I'm gonna get Sider's jersey. You know, if
dude,
he
get a fucking Datsuk jersey, bro.
I know, but
that's true.
I thought about that.
It's the best.
Or Fedorov.
Like,
yeah,
I thought about that too, but I want to get someone from now. I like collecting, so I'm getting.
Do you have a Datsuk one though?
Not yet.
You should probably get a Datsuk one.
Well,
like,
let's
you
see
gotta
what
talk
happens
about
here.
that. We're talking. I'm just saying, like, you can't go wrong with a Datsuk jersey either, because like motherfucker, like
he was the best.
Motherfucker
obviously.
was the hands of the NHL.
I know, but I'm saying, like, what if we end up getting a player like that? Then I'm gonna want to get his jersey.
But we had a player. I'm just saying, it's a safe bet to have a Wings jersey and have it either be a captain or 13. Like Datsuk.
Dude, I think this is gonna be that team.
You think so?
I think so.
I'm hoping it is. I'm not. I mean, you're right, Jake. I mean, all it takes is like a really good draft pick, you know? Who knows if we get a goalie that's
because like last thing you want is like, oh, I'm gonna get Lucas Raymond. Like, the kid turns out to be a beast, but he's gone in fucking 3 years. You know, like, I don't know.
Wait.
You gotta look at his contract first before you commit to his jersey.
I bought a Joik Bell jersey who played for the Lions. Do you know who Joik Bell is?
He's gone already.
Yeah, but he is the shit.
What does he play for?
No one. He just does commentary for like.
But he did
Detroit podcast. But he was the shit. But he was gone like 2 years. I bought his jersey.
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck it though, because he's from the Met though too. He went to school here, I think, for sure.
I'm gonna buy an Austin Matthews jersey. I'm gonna get a Sidney Crosby jersey. Like,
good hockey players,
dude. I'm gonna have them all. Like, I want to collect them. You know.
Yeah.
I mean,
you like the normal.
Look at that kid go.
They're all good hockey players,
dude.
bro.
Yeah,
like they're just good hockey players.
What were you gonna say? The normal.
Just the It's almost like you got to get a McDavid, you got to get a Crosby, you got like Austin Matthews.
Yeah, the best of the best. I like. I mean, Austin Matthews, he might turn out to be nothing, but at least Crosby's.
Austin Matthews is done.
He's done already.
No, but I'm just saying he already won it. Like he's
in there.
He's the shit. Like,
but they never won a cup or anything.
Yeah, sometimes who was it? Joe Montana never won a Super Bowl.
No, he won a lot.
Someone didn't. One of those guys. The guy from Miami.
Dan Marino.
Yeah, great ass quarterback.
There's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, I just look at it.
So you like? I just want the ones that win the cup. I want the winners.
I like.
You're one of them, huh?
No, it's not the winners, dude. It's I just like having. I bought also Vegas Golden Knight. What's his name?
You should buy a Bertuzzi jersey.
Maybe I will.
To be 100% honest.
Maybe I will. But no one on the Wings has like we've been winning by committee, dude.
We had, you know what I mean?
We've been winning by committee. We haven't had one player to dominate, and I'm just waiting until we have a dominant player.
I might argue that kid getting a hat trick in the first 10 games and
we need a season.
10 points in 6 games. That's a fucking dominator. This kid might be a dominator.
Lucas Raymond?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll end up getting his jersey.
He's gonna get traded the next.
Yeah, that could happen.
Yeah. But who knows? I mean, he might end up being. I mean, Yzerman has skilled in drafting, dude.
Pulled off YouTube right now. Oops.
But that's my thing. I like to pick players.
It's harder. It's harder to get that though. It's like you might be waiting for a while.
True.
Because it's all about draft picks and shit, and it's not what it used to be. It used to be about how much money you have, how much money a team has to spend, and now it's a lottery pick and shit, and like.
True, but I mean, I still wouldn't mind having like an Ovechkin jersey one day. I mean, he's fucking awesome, dude. He's a great player. I like his play style. I mean, I know he's not on our team, but
you loved Ovechkin for a minute,
dude. I like all flashy, deaky, high-scoring players.
Dudes. That's what I meant. Yeah. That's just like the normal. Those are the guys.
Get a fucking Datsuk jersey.
Yeah. Well, I have a.
Ovi got a nice one.
Yeah, I should get a Datsuk jersey, man.
I like when Ovi does that, like on the knee.
Or you can get an Yzerman one. I mean, that still holds strong because now he's our fucking GM.
Yeah. I have a Pavel Bure jersey from Florida Panthers.
Yeah. Why not Stevie Y? Why did Stevie Y not make this list?
Stevie Y is a good one because
you know what?
He's the captain.
He's awesome.
Now he's going to bring us
He's just
cup
like more
back.
of a. It's like Zetterberg versus Datsuk. I look at it the same way.
With what?
Like Yzerman and Fedorov, Zetterberg, Datsuk.
No, dude. Yzerman's on a league is in a league of his own, bro. He's like Yzerman's like the captain of like sports, basically.
He's the Gretzky of captains.
But I'm saying it's not that. But I'm saying his skill set. His skill set is like leadership. He's high skill, but he's not like.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's the captain.
When he came into the league, he was nice.
So was Zetterberg for a while.
No. Like I'm saying like in sports.
Oh, he's the best captain ever in sports. Yeah,
Like Yzerman's like the captain.
I'm not going to disagree with you. Yeah.
And then he's the one that brought the cup to the Wings. He brought the cup back to the Wings. How many you bring? What, 4?
But you could argue that they wouldn't have won it without other players, Don't you think?
Maybe 3. He might have been gone the last one.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
He was gone the last one, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3 cups, right?
Yeah.
No, not without Yzerman, bro.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he's like less flashy
and
compared to Fedorov.
And then look what he did.
In his day, he was flashy.
Yeah, he was flashy.
In his day, he was flashy.
Yeah.
Like, when he came into the scene, they were like, they never seen
Fedorov looked more flashy because he was decked out in Nike, bro.
No, dude,
it shit worked.
He was fast. He was geeky. Like that's.
But
what
he was
I like.
also decked out in fucking Nike.
Yeah.
Like when Nike was crazy.
Did you like Athanasiou?
I thought he was going to turn into something awesime. Yeah.
You thought he was going to be Fedorov.
Didn't you?
You thought he was going to be Fedorov.
He has the skill.
Where is he anymore?
I don't know.
I thought he was going to be like Fedorov.
I think
Tatars in Vegas.
Tatars in Vegas?
Tatars in Vegas, yeah.
Maybe
or no,
not.
he was in Montreal.
Was he in Montreal?
Tatars
no,
in
he's in
Montreal.
Vegas.
No, you're thinking of Athanasiou. Tatars in Montreal.
He's in Montreal, yeah.
He
had a good
Vegas,
he had a good season
I'm positive
last year.
He went to Vegas.
He did. He was in Vegas and then he got traded to Anthony Seo I think is on the Oilers with with Connor McDavid. I thought.
Yeah,
Holland picked him up.
Yeah.
But going back to Stevie though, so as a player, he's the captain, and then what'd he do? He fucking became a general manager, all right, and basically built the foundation of the team that won the cup the last 2 years in a row, okay, and now he's rebuilding fucking Detroit to bring the cup back.
He did it
so he's a cup bringer, bro. He is a fucking cup bringer.
I can get his jersey.
He's basically responsible for at least 5 cups.
Will you buy us his jersey?
Maybe. No.
I'll put it up right here.
That would be cool.
Every time you come out.
Hey,
I'll put it right behind you.
But the
just
thing
to
is
remind you.
I don't mind having an older jersey, but if I get an older jersey, then I want it to be on the new. I still want it to be on the new material.
I bet you could find a new.
Yeah, like I don't want to get like a
nice. Is it Reebok
jersey.
now?
Those new jerseys are.
No, it's not Reebok anymore.
Me and Jeff
Who is
just
it?
talking
Adidas?
about these.
It's Adidas.
Yeah.
I don't know what they are, but these are sweet, dude.
They're nice.
Yeah.
They're nice with it. They're finally jerseys were never made like correctly.
That. They were so like big and shit.
Yeah, that's Adidas.
Yeah, these are like form fitting. Hold your pads in.
Yeah, they're cool.
Those are the shit.
This is the first time I ever wore this since I've gotten it, but
you can actually wear them too, like other old jerseys.
They're sloppy. They're floppy and shit.
No. I mean, you can on the east side.
If you just don't care what people think, dude, who cares?
You got oxys on the low for sure.
Is that what they would wear?
They would have it. Yeah.
Spellman. What? That's what it made me think of. I don't know.
What?
I don't know. Oh, I hope he hears that.
I don't understand that.
Shit.
I don't know. It just made me think of it.
How deep are we right now?
I probably want to bring up like one more thing. I'm trying to figure out what.
We're hour and 40. We're chilling.
All right.
It's not
terrible. What do you want to bring up?
I gotta wake up early.
But Jake, listen, I do want you to check out that 13 Assassins movie because I'm gonna check it out again. But I think it's gonna be pretty gnarly. Like I'm serious. The first beginning part was pretty hardcore.
I have to watch that shit during the day.
It's not like scary. It's just kind of
still.
Yeah.
Like, even if I just watched Midsummer. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Check that out.
Okay.
If you can. It's another one. It's just like hard to watch for some reason.
I just have a feeling about this one that it's going to be
because it's like
freaking wild.
It's like programming you with like Satan's.
Is that what
energy.
It is?
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah.
For sure.
That's crazy.
It's like giving you like negative
vibes,
feels and everything. They're fucking with you. It's like a musician. Like they fuck with you. They make you cry. Like so
manipulate their
manipulate
emotions.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You guys ever heard of like Mouse Utopia or like Rat?
In what way?
Rat Utopia.
What is it?
It was an experiment done by some John Calhoun.
Okay.
Calhoun in like the late 50s, early 60s. He basically he gave rats. He built like this city, like this enclosed like little like a big rat city.
Utopia.
Like a rat, like had like boxes and stuff everywhere, but it was like real big and everything.
Okay.
And he put a bunch of rats in them and gave them like unlimited food and water and like just like gave them unlimited supplies.
What happened?
They started fucking like crazy. And then like they overpopulated, and then they became really destructive.
Destructive, like eating shit,
like eating each other, and like like boy rats fucking boy rats, and like.
Is that what they're programming us?
Basically,
with this AI
basically the whole thing collapsed. Like they destroyed themselves when they were given like
everything.
They were given everything, and it's kind of showing like.
It's like the evasive species motto. Like it's like thinking of human beings as like an invasive species
to the earth.
Yeah, sure. I mean, to whatever, to our environment. Like we're just you cram them on top of each other, give them everything, and then watch them burn
it. Yeah.
But it's like eucalyptus trees in Hawaii just sucking the land dry because they're supposed to be in Australia or some shit.
Someone brought them there?
Yeah. It's an invasive species. It destroys everything around it because it doesn't know what to do, like with abundance.
You know what, though?
If it's not used to getting abundance.
Some people are able to live on the land and live in harmony with nature.
It's probably because that's how you should be doing it.
Some people are able to do that, and I want to be that type of person,
Have you ever heard about, you know how like they always say like we're overpopulated and shit like that?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard about how
it's not true?
How we can the entire world population could fit inside of Texas comfortably?
That's what I mean earlier
like
about saying
like
the
everybody
science
having
shit.
like an acre of land.
Yeah.
That's
like
what
the
I was
whole
saying.
world could fit in Texas.
We have to
supposedly.
doubt everything now. Like
They just got everyone crammed into little areas.
Yeah, like it's just you feel overcrowded when you're in like a city.
yeah, I'm not going back.
You go to fucking like when I went to Utah, like it's like vast.
Yeah.
Like you're just like, whoa. It's like that's why it's everyone's
Spread
drawn
out.
to it. It's like it's because it's like, holy shit, there's so much of this.
Yeah.
That's why we like go on vacations and shit like that to see the vastness of that's where like flat earth kind of for me hits home is like it's the vastness of it that's possible. Like we maybe don't know, maybe we're only looking at a drop of something huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like there's more resources than we know, there's more everything. Like,
My questions though, like with flat Earth, like what do they talk about? Like
I'd
boats.
say it's like so like
With what? With what?
Boats. Like
boats.
Well, it's like they're
about boats?
like
Going
they're saying,
around,
a lot of them they're saying like gravity, like it's not gravity doesn't exist.
but how
It's
do
not
they?
about, like,
what
a
about
force pulling us
No,
down?
but he's talking about like
going
extensive.
around?
What do you mean?
Like can't a
Airplanes and shit?
boat, like
And,
a boat going around the whole Earth and yeah, like
What about it?
what do they say about
like,
that?
Why doesn't it just do this?
Yeah. What's the difference?
Well, what stops
Like think about
someone from just
when
going, like,
people
left
travel
to right?
around the think about pilots and stuff that travel around the world in a plane, you know, like oh, the first person to go around the world, like which way do they go? They go this way, right? They never go from north to south.
North to south. Okay, but
Right? They always go
there's a reason for that,
east to
isn't
west.
no, I don't know. Like,
I don't know, Enzo. Is there a reason for that?
what about a compass? Like,
I'm sure there's an excuse for it.
North still exists.
yeah, so like a compass,
So
but that's how you know
north
which way to
still-
go. So
north
you
still
go west.
exists.
But what I'm
North is
saying-
still the center.
This is
bro.
everything else that's like yanking south away. So south is just this.
okay, and I'm fine with that model. I'm just saying, why hasn't someone just gone this way before?
Because you're not allowed to.
Okay, what's over there? That's what I'm trying to understand.
You're Antarctica, where you're not allowed to travel in Antarctica. The
so
the
they're
treaty,
saying like
the Antarctic,
the globe.
the Antarctic Treaty of like 1958, that was signed by like pretty much every country in the world, saying that you're not allowed to go past a certain point in Antarctica, or you will be shot.
I know. I'm trying to understand though, like what's in the other direction then in that model.
Antarctica.
So Antarctica exists all around.
That circle, that last circle, would be Antarctica.
Okay, okay.
See how tiny they make it?
Interesting to see. I'm just wondering, like,
This
what's
thing's actually huge. Like Antarctica. So even when they do like scale, like they're like,
our maps are fucking a lie to us.
When they show us the scale of the map, they're
look
like,
up a real map scale.
Yeah, everything like this
Africa should be like huge.
Africa
on
can
there.
fit like several countries in there.
but it's hard to fit it on a globe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so
because it's like much bigger.
So they're in this model. They're saying like
it's much bigger. Like
is?
it's just the landmass and everything. Yeah. It's just like that's why they can't fit it on the ball unless the ball.
Yeah, because like Greenland is actually the same size as like South America.
Yes.
You know, but to show that it's like two. Exactly. Look at that, dude.
Yeah, because the world's fucking huge.
All right.
Because it's a big flat plane.
So they're saying
that never stops.
They're saying on the outside is Antarctica.
Yes.
Some of them, yeah.
Most.
Okay, and then do they have a theory for what's outside of that?
Well, that's where there's different theories. There's theories that
there's like more of this. It's just kind of it's reproducing.
Yeah, so there'd be.
All right. Here.
So like, if you got through Antarctica, I'm trying to. I can't see it.
Okay.
If you got through Antarctica, right?
Okay.
Like over here would be like another Earth.
Like a petri dish and like.
So this would be
bacteria.
all like whatever's there, fucking alien shit and all that stuff, and then you would come to another Earth, right? Or it's just past here. It's just like, just another continents, more landmass.
Okay, what are they?
And these could be the aliens we see and shit like that. Can be people from here trying to explore into here, and we're just like this imprisoned part of the plane.
Okay, what is up
we're
and
like
what is
in
down?
hell. We're like in hell of the plane.
What is up and what is down in this model? Like, what is above us in the sky?
A firmament. A dome.
This looks so ridiculous.
Dome?
Yeah, what are you showing on that?
Dome.
I'm like, we figured out flat Earth.
Yeah.
You want the notes?
It's like stick figures.
You want the science?
Yeah.
A stick figure falling off.
This looks like you could give this to your daughter. She could make this a beautiful sun.
Yes.
It'd be a dome. It'd be a dome over us, over that part.
That's what's like up in the air. Okay, so dome.
And beyond that would be like ocean. Like plasma, like liquid, like space is like liquid. You gotta look into like electric space theory and shit like that. Like,
yeah, that part gets deep.
What's under? Like,
ooh, who knows? It could be hollow Earth.
Is it just like
hollow Earth is a big
half
one.
of an Earth? That's cut in half, or is it like what?
We don't know. That's the thing. Like,
I just want to know what their theories
most
are.
people that are into flat Earth will admit that they don't know.
It's more of a question.
Whereas people that think, or believe NASA, they'll tell you for a fact.
Think they do know.
They tell you for a fact. No, it's fact that it's round and space is real and this planet's real. It's fact because I've seen pictures of it.
Yeah. You know what I've always wondered about space?
And then they'll try to prove you wrong after you're like, oh yeah, I think NASA's fake and like I think it's all CGI and stuff. They'll be like, no. Here, check this out. And what they all do, I've had so many people do this. They'll be like, check this out. Like, look, this is a picture of Jupiter. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I just told you. I think that's fucking CGI.
Okay.
And they're like, well, here's a picture of a satellite in space. And it's like, okay, dude, yeah, that you're giving me you're giving me stuff as fact from the people I'm telling you I don't believe.
The moon's the tricky part.
Why is the moon tricky?
Why?
Because it's the theories of the moon, like it not being real, like it being.
What is it?
No, everyone's saying it's. No one's saying it's not real. It's just, everyone's saying that there's not another side to it. It's not a ball.
Yes.
You know what?
Which is why we've never seen the dark side of the moon. We only see one face of the moon.
Which also makes sense in round theory too.
Because of the sun going around. But one thing I've always wondered is, you know how they say like we have satellites that take pictures, we know what is like out there in space, or we found these other planets that are this, that, and the other. But then they tell you that they're like light years away. And so I wonder, like, we're looking at something that is already gone. It's like in the past, Like when we look into space.
Yes.
It's like already gone.
4 years old, yeah.
Or
8
like
years
hundreds
old, or
of light
dead,
years.
Or billion years old, yeah.
Yeah, so what is really out there? Like right now, what is really out there? We'll never know.
Might not be anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Might not be fucking anything, dude.
That's what I've always wondered.
I've always found it funny that, like, since because they say that we are corkscrewing throughout the galaxy.
I didn't know
right?
that. Yeah,
we're not some like stationary fucking. We're not like stationary here and like floating in space and here's Mars, a few miles away from us, like rotating around the sun on like a flat plane, like all in a circle, like how we're shown like this. Like that's not what it looks like. That's not what it would look like. All right, that's what we're doing right there through space.
Really?
That's what they say we're doing. We're corkscrewing. Traveling at 1,000,000 miles an hour through space, corkscrewing, right? Our whole galaxy is corkscrewing.
And we don't feel it.
And so it's like, what are the probabilities of us not running into another planet?
Or just something.
Or a big ass asteroid or something. How can we just be avoiding, so there's nothing else in space for us to run into?
And life would end in an instant and we wouldn't know because it's just going so fast.
We're going 1,000,000 miles an hour. What if there's a planet out there that's not traveling 1,000,000 miles an hour? Like how is the probability of us not hitting something?
Because the theory would be everything
is moving?
It's moving at the same rate.
How is that a probability? How could it be probable that every single thing is moving at the same rate?
Because movement's constant.
Yeah, but you're saying, everything would have to be spinning. That doesn't make sense because Jupiter takes longer or less time to rotate around the moon or the sun.
because
than
the sun
Earth.
has
But I'm just saying, there's a difference in there in travel, in movement. You know what I'm saying? Earth takes, 1 year to go around the fucking sun, right? Jupiter, I don't know how long it is, but let's just say Jupiter takes fucking 5 years to go around the sun. There's a difference of speed going on there. So if there's two objects moving at different rates around this way, then
you're saying
how can everything else be moving one way at the same rate?
I think they do collide constantly. I think they collide, and that's the idea, is that timeline is such a bigger magnitude of what you can perceive time at, like that, like it does, like there's like, it shows that like they have markings of being hit by massive objects all over it, but it just doesn't occur. Like our 90-year life is like nothing in the movement of this thing, like.
But
like
we're
just
moving.
because,
how are we moving? It's like we're moving so fast in that direction. Like, how are we not hitting something in that direction?
Who's to say we don't?
I don't know.
Who's to say we don't?
But
they would argue that it happens all the time. Like massive collisions happen.
Yeah, but there'd have to be a massive one at some point.
Or like, what else is out there
that destroys that whole galaxy?
For sure. That could be happening though.
Yeah,
that could be happening for sure. Like whenever. That's the catch to it. Is like it. Like we are only perceiving the time of it and the human time, but that's just such a short period of time compared to the movement of these massive objects.
Something's got to give. There's got to be. So we got to find out something in the next couple of years that's gonna just like blow whatever all this open. Too many people are uncovering too many things.
They're just talking about them.
That dude was sweet on the Tripoli on tinfoil hat.
Which guy?
The last guy.
Yeah.
Talk about Q and everything and all that shit.
That was a really good episode.
You should listen to that dude.
Yeah, I highly promote that.
Who is it?
Tinfoil Hat podcast.
Okay.
Sam Tripoli.
He's a comedian.
I'll check him out.
It's quick. It's an hour and a half. It's it's a nice little pop, just boom in your face. Like go check this shit out. Look at this shit. Check this out. Right. You can dig it. You cannot. Whatever. Yeah. That's the whole idea of like why conspiring together is a good idea. You know what I mean though? Yeah. Like it's like why it's a good idea is because you want to be bouncing ideas off of each other that question the normal narrative of anything. That's what you do. I mean,
which at this point, I mean, is pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Jupiter takes 12 years to go around the sun.
Yeah, it's getting smoked all the time.
I mean, I don't know enough about that level of science anyways, but
what I was saying though is that there had to be a probability of something
I think there is. I think
floating like a planet that's not moving
somewhere.
But they would say that the energy of this thing would push it away.
Is that what they say?
That's what they would say because
we're going so fast.
Because this big thing in the middle here is pushing everything away. That's why all these objects have a certain amount of distance away from them, is because they have an imaginary force that's keeping everything away.
Or we would run into something going the opposite way, doing this
head on.
And then it would have to happen at least fucking probably 1,000,000 times in 1,000 years, I would think.
But then
I think we gotta really look into the fake history stuff, guys. I really do think there's a lot of fake history out there, like fake news.
Absolutely,
yeah, I think so too.
I think it's all fake.
That's why it's fun to question the way the Earth is actually shaped. I think that's why it's fun to question that. I think it's because you are like, hold on. It's like it's all accepted in some parts of society, like the idea of Columbus being bad. Like for the longest time, that was a conspiracy that turned out to be true. Like now we're like, hey, Columbus was a bad man. So it's like they open their eyes to it. Everyone opens their eyes to it somewhat in some sense of life. But then once you're just like,
actually,
this shit's still happening.
Columbus wasn't a bad guy.
You guys ever think like, what did our parents like?
He was just following orders. He was just wearing his mask.
Yeah.
And he was told to go and slaughter these people and take their land because we want it. So he was actually just following the science and doing his part and wearing his mask.
Who knows if that's even true, though, dude? Honestly, the Columbus and discovering America and all that shit. Who knows if that's even true? I mean, he came here, but
conquered something.
We already said the Vikings came here way before.
A lot of people came.
So it's like, I think that's what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
You know, like what the fuck is going on?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think people would openly like dismiss the fact of Columbus Day and be like, that's stupid. Like there was a lot of people here, and that's why we're like, hey, fuck that shit. That's fake history. But then when you're like, give them like fake history from like yesterday, it's like they can't handle it. Like they're like, they're like, oh, no way. You
gotta trust the science. Get your shot, bro. It's like, well, trust the science. Like the people giving me the shot were fucking sued for $2.1 billion for fucking putting out a medication that killed 100,000 people, giving them heart attacks, and they knew about it.
That'll never happen again.
That's what you're telling me to trust?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh well.
The one I use with conspiracy. People is J&J and the baby powder.
Yeah.
Dude, I was thinking about you snorting all that baby powder for Halloween that one year.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Dude, you snorted a lot of baby powder.
Why?
Like, a lot. Because Jake and I were a cop duo, Roscoe and Tiny, for Halloween.
It was a prop.
And, we had...
we're like 80s
like...
drug-addicted undercover
cops.
You were devoted to your role.
Oh, well, yeah, he got real depressed at the end of the night, too. And he was hammered. He was just fucking... blowing the bag of blow.
Like we went
but it was just baby powder. But now we're finding out that it's probably worse than cocaine.
Oh my god.
I should have just been doing coke, bro.
We probably would have had way more fun, to be honest. It was a fun costume idea, though.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything for Halloween? Did you say anything?
I don't have any plans, man, honestly.
Do you dress up? I have trouble with the dressing up. Like I always have. I do dress up always, but I'm not into it until the last minute, and then I'm like, fuck,
I need something.
But
I got a good costume. I was it last year, Jason. It's like really
I'm being
good.
Jason.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's weird.
Nice. Well, when you dress up, like, what are you like at work and stuff? Or like,
no,
just for the
for like a party.
You're being Jason Vanderbeek?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jason Vanderbeek from Dawson's Creek, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. It's gonna be sweet. It actually would be a sweet ass costume.
It's a
perfect costume for taking your kids trick or treating because you can wear a jacket.
Jason Vanderbeek. So underneath the mask, you're Jason Vanderbeek.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Jason Voorhees.
So you gotta wear a Jason Vanderbeek mask.
Yeah, underneath the Voorhees mask.
Yeah.
I like that. I love those ones. I'm like always trying to think of a new, like, I don't know. I thought of one with like it was kind of offensive. Maybe I won't talk about it. I'll talk about it actually off of here. But yeah, I don't know. We should probably wrap it up.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Enzo, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I love coming on here.
It was a good time.
Enzo's the reg for sure.
Jim, why don't you tell everyone where they can find us?
Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. I think I fucked up all the YouTube. Sorry about that, everyone. I think it was Wild Watch this time, but I had like multiple picture-in-picture happening. But make sure you subscribe. Subscribe to this. And then check us out.
We're going to get better.
On Twitter
it takes time.
And Instagram at Secret Hideout Podcast. Check that shit out.
Yeah, and, don't listen to a word we say because we don't know what the fuck we're talking about. And like always, do your own research, and we will catch you on the flip side.
Peace.
Peace. You want to say bye, Len?
Bye, guys. That's awesome. All right, I'll say bye next time.